I was so nervous to do this interview with Ben because we have not had a good relationship. We haven't had a relationship, but talking to him for a long time has certainly helped me and him, I believe, come closer together, where when I see him now in Pittsburgh, we can hug and embrace because we're two quarterbacks that played for the Steelers. It's not only good for me, it's good for him, it's good for the Steeler organization, the city of Pittsburgh, and it means a lot to me, so I appreciate it.
I agree. I think it's... when I heard you were going to do this interview, I was scared. I was excited. I figured you would. Yeah. You would be at least nervous about it, but it was great. The guy that he's facing today from the Philadelphia Eagles, Carson Wentz, is a guy that people have a lot of questions about right now. Is he the real deal? Is he a top 10 quarterback? I believe he is, without a shadow of a doubt. That throw he made last week versus San Francisco is to a guy they just pulled off the practice squad, and they've been decimated. Tight end, wide receiver, offensive line. That's the kind of throw that can, I think, help turn a season around. Your defense is good enough to win right now. I think their offense is decimated, and I think Carson has tried to do too much. He's forcing balls. I think Carson needs to play it smart, not turn the football over, play the strength of your team right now, which is your defense, and you making smart decisions. You're in a division that you can win once you get some players back.
But you have been, that's great for everybody, great for the league. I thought I saw a tear, not from you, but from your bobblehead there. I mean, it was such a passionate.
Don't you cry. Don't you cry.
Michael, let's switch to the late game here on Fox today that some people are getting. San Francisco taking on Miami. The good news for the 49ers is they're starting to get healthy. Jimmy Garoppolo's back.
They're starting to get healthy on offense. Garoppolo is back. They went 1-1 without him, but they definitely need him. Then you got Deebo Samuel came back last week. Brandon Ayuk, he is playing a rookie to watch for this team. But George Kittle last week set records, 15 catches, 183 yards, a touchdown against the Eagles. I mean, this guy's a complete beast. But the thing to overcome will be on the defensive side of the ball. The opponents that they face so far this year are 3-12-1. Going forward after this Miami game, their opponents are going to be 19-5. Can they overcome the defensive injuries and pick it up on the offensive side of the ball? That's what we have to see. But when you look at the players they lost on defense, that's going to be a tough road for 49ers.
And as we bring Jimmy Johnson back in from the Keys, it's going to be necessary for them to win games in that NFC West the way the Rams are playing. And Seattle takes on Minnesota tonight trying to go to 5-0.
Yeah, it'll be the first time in franchise history that they've won 5, to start the season off. I think they're the best team in the division, but this is going to be really difficult. Minnesota, they lost 3 games, but the 3 losses are 3 of the best teams in the entire league. On top of that, Dalvin Cook leads the league in rushing. Seattle has struggled on defense. So you look on the other side. Russell Wilson's the best deep thrower in the league. Well, he's facing 2 of the best safeties in the league. This will be a tough game. I think Seattle will win, but it'll be difficult.
All right, thanks a lot, Jimmy. Time to get back to Jay Glazer for his ins and outs. Brought to you by Geico.
Well, Howie, you talked earlier about a gut check for Dwayne Haskins. They did check this morning, but in a different way. He actually has a stomach flu, so he's not even allowed at the stadium today. Doctors sent him home. You talked about Kyle Allen starting, and Ron Rivera told me this morning, Alex Smith, yeah, I actually gave him more reps in practice this week. Would that be an incredible comeback if he actually plays this year? Chase Young also, he's been banged up. Ron told me that he is good to go for today. For the Baltimore Ravens, they've been really banged up. Lamar Jackson, he also had a stomach flu this week, and their head coach, John Harbaugh, said, oh, yeah, we definitely panicked. It wasn't COVID. It was just a stomach bug. Also, his knee was banged up, but he's good to go today. And his 2 top weapons, Mark Andrews, Hollywood Brown, both are in there questionable going into this week. Joe Mixon, he's been questionable, banged up, but his head coach told me this morning that Zach Taylor, that he's good to go. Also for the Falcons, Calvin Ridley, he was banged up last week. Dan Quinn said, we really think he's back to 100%. Julio Jones, though, he is out. For the Raiders, Henry Ruggs been out last couple of weeks. Knee and hamstring issues, he is back. And for the Dallas Cowboys, Jimmy talked about it earlier. They were really hoping to get Leighton Vander Esch back this week. He's not. They do expect him back next week.
All right, thanks, Jay. Hey, talk about that division. It's the one that has really caught the attention of television executives everywhere. And Fox Sports is proud to announce we've obtained the rights to a pilot of a brand new reality series. And it's a spinoff of the classic.
You're looking at members of the NFC East, the worst division in the NFL. And today, one of them will be going home. I'm Jeff Probst, and this is Survival, not in any way affiliated with the show called Survivor. Legal department made me say that. The Eagles, you said earlier, it's the Giants who should be going home. Why is that?
because they haven't even won a game. And yet, here we are, 2 games out of first place. That's how bad this division is. All I know is we shouldn't be voted out because we are in first place.
The only reason you're in first place is because you tied the Bengals. That's like tying the Bengals.
Plus, bragging that you're in first place in this division is like saying you're the smartest Kardashian. That would be Chloe.
I don't know why we just don't vote out Washington. Their mascot is football team. It's embarrassing. Hey, who's in the NFC East? Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, football team?
Who did the Rams play this
NFL Sunday in Pennsylvania as the Eagles are in Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Thank you for tuning in and watching my live reactions play-by-play. I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96. As always, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button. Share on social media, hashtag NFL. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated as well. I'll get to those in a second. Philadelphia coming off a Sunday night road win last week against the San Francisco 49ers, picking up their first win of the season as they are in first place in the NFC East at 1-2-1. That tie against another AFC North team in the Cincinnati Bengals from a few weeks back. Now the Eagles in the Steel City taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are 3-0, coming off an early unexpected bye due to the Titan game postponement due to COVID-19 last Sunday. Some more breaking news earlier this afternoon as well, with COVID-19 postponements in the National Football League, as the originally scheduled Bronco-Patriot game from today that was postponed until tomorrow night, the first of the doubleheader on Monday Night Football for the second consecutive week. That game has once again been postponed due to a COVID positive, and now will be played at the earliest next week. Bills-Titans on Tuesday, postponed from today. That'll be 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday night on CBS. However, that is now also up in the air. So some scheduling conflicts in the National Football League right now due to COVID, but it is, in fact, the world that we live in 2020. So life will, in fact, move on. Thank you once again for tuning in and watching. Only time will tell with what the NFL decides to do. The Bronco-Dolphin game that is scheduled for in the coming weeks will be pushed back to a later date due to the fact Broncos-Patriots will now be next Sunday rather than today, and then also now tomorrow night due to, once again, another postponement. However, today, as mentioned, in the Keystone State, it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles in the Steel City taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh at 3-0, wins over the Giants, Broncos, and Texans. They were supposed to play the Titans last Sunday, however, an early unexpected bye. As mentioned, they'll now play continuously throughout the rest of the regular season and knock on wood playoffs, as well as the Titan game got moved to the 25th of October, 2 weeks from today, as they'll play the Eagles at home today, Browns next Sunday. However, I'm not going to be shocked if that game does in fact get moved up to this upcoming Thursday, just due to the fact Buffalo is supposed to host Kansas City. But if the Bills-Titans does move forward on Tuesday night, Kansas City and Buffalo, they'll play later on next weekend rather than Thursday. So the NFL is then going to have a hole for NFL Thursday Night Football in a few short days to kick off NFL Week 6. NFL Week 5, Sunday afternoon football coming up shortly. Once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. Sunday Night Football is Vikings-Seahawks. We've got some decent 425 kicks as well with the Giants and Cowboys, along with the Colts and Browns. However, on Thursday Night Football this past week, Chicago Bears went to 4-1, defeating Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by a final score of 20-19, as Brady lost for the first time ever in his career on Thursday Night Football. Eagles-Steelers, though, today, as mentioned, should be a very, very interesting game. The state of Pennsylvania now allowing fans in attendance for events, so expect about 5,500 fans in Pittsburgh at Heinz Field for today's contest between Philly and Pittsburgh, as it's the city of brotherly love versus the Steel City. The Steagles facing off for the first time since 1943. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. As mentioned, should be a very, very interesting game. Philly, that Cincinnati game a couple weeks back that ended up going to overtime and then turned into a punt contest that ended in a tie, should have never happened. And the NFL, once again, still needs to change the overtime rule. Let me know in the comments below what do you think about that overtime rule in the National Football League. As we've seen in college football in years past and continuing on this year, overtimes will continue. The game will move on until we have a clear-cut winner rather than teams tying one another, as we saw 4 overtimes yesterday in the Red River rivalry between Texas and Oklahoma as the Sooners beat the Longhorns in 4 overtimes down in Dallas at the Cotton Bowl. In a couple weeks, the Big Ten will also return with Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, Michigan State, Iowa, Nebraska, Wisconsin, along with Minnesota, Purdue, Northwestern, and others. Be sure to keep an eye out for college football live reactions, play-by-play to kick off on October the 24th, live right here on YouTube, as Penn State will head to Bloomington, Indiana, and take on the Hoosiers. And then a week later, the Nittany Lions will host the Buckeyes of Ohio State on Happy Halloween. However, today, as mentioned, in Pittsburgh, it's Philadelphia and the Steelers. The Eagles taking on Pittsburgh. And Jonathan Vilma, he left ESPN for Fox. Did not know that. So some breaking news there. This world right now, this year of 2020, all whack and a blur as we hit October, and here before too long it's going to be Thanksgiving and Christmas before both college football and the NFL wrap up early next year, which is hard to believe. But NFL Week 5 today. Philadelphia and Pittsburgh meeting for the first time since 2016, in which the Eagles defeated the Steelers in Philly at the Lake. However, Pittsburgh at 3-0, trying to become 4-0 for the first time since 1979, in which they won the Super Bowl that year, their 4th in 6 years with Terry Bradshaw. So a lot on the line. Philly, along with leading the NFC East, and then a crucial giant Cowboy game down in the Big D. Redskins playing host to the LA Rams this afternoon as well. A lot could go right, a lot could go wrong, though, as well with these games, and then standing-wise moving forward. But it's still early. We're not even halfway through the season, and it's still a very, very long regular season, 17 weeks, 16 games. However, with all these postponements, don't be shocked, because they did bring up, there was a rumor floating around that the NFL could very well add a extra week to the regular season and then push the playoffs back into late January without a bye week in between the conference championships and the Super Bowl for the 2 Super Bowl teams. So probably no Pro Bowl at the end of January. But nonetheless, we'll get to that point when we get there. But Eagles Steelers today, Roethlisberger and Wentz. Ben coming off that injury season last year. Wentz up in the air if he's still the franchise quarterback in Philly. In my honest opinion, they should have never got rid of Big Dick Nick Foles. But hey, nonetheless, they did. He signed with Jacksonville before the Jags traded him to Chicago, and then once again he beat Brady on Thursday night with the Bears defeating the Buccaneers, as mentioned. Coming up at halftime, as well as usual, we'll have stats and scores from around the league, preview with what is still yet to come later on today as well. So now tomorrow night, on Monday night, due to the fact no Broncos Patriots this week, that'll be next week now, we'll only have one Monday night game after what we thought we were going to have a doubleheader 2 weeks in a row. So no Broncos Patriots today or tomorrow now. So Chargers Saints from New Orleans. There was some thought that that game very well could have been moved to Indianapolis due to the recent Hurricane Delta that hit the bayou. Thoughts and prayers continue to the Gulf Coast in your recovery now of your second hurricane in the past month and a half. But Chargers Saints tomorrow night on Monday Night Football from New Orleans, from the Superdome. I'll have live reactions play-by-play alongside WWE Monday Night Raw, as well as the 2020 WWE Draft will continue tomorrow night on Raw. They announced a few matches and segments earlier today, however, at this point in time, did not get a chance to look into those as of yet, so we'll have more on that tomorrow night, along with a full recap of what happened on Friday Night SmackDown with draft results in the WWE, along with what is still yet to come in the near future for the world of professional wrestling, with Hell in a Cell, Halloween Havoc, and AEW Full Gear within the next month. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching my live reactions play-by-play. I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96. As always, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Check those links out in the description below. The thumbs up button, share hashtag NFL, hashtag PHI for Philadelphia versus PIT for Pittsburgh, and chat questions and comments along with super chats and super stickers. Always greatly appreciated as well. Let me know in the comments who you have winning today's game between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, as the Eagles are once again, as mentioned, in the Steel City, taking on black and gold. It's a debate of Sheets versus Wawa, Yinzer versus Wooder, as it's water for all you Eastern Pennsylvanians, but nonetheless, from Pittsburgh today, the Steelers hosting the Philadelphia Eagles, with about, as mentioned, 5,500 fans in attendance for the first time this year. So we'll have to see if that plays key or not. We saw yesterday in college football some of the crowd noise, especially in the SEC, with Florida on the road losing to Texas A&M on a game-winning field goal. That was a major factor. So come late in the game, as I'm expecting basically very, very safe, simple first half, I'll say that. Both defenses will hold down the fort for the time being, and then we'll get into the third quarter, mid-third, early fourth, and then who's going to make a move, of course, who's going to make a stop, who's going to step up at that point. And, I mean, maybe the Steeler defense will once again bring the steel curtain down, but maybe Philadelphia will halt Pittsburgh's 4-0 hopes for the first time since 1979 and get out of Pittsburgh with a win. Miles Sanders, Booby Miles, a name to keep an eye out for the Eagles in the backfield. A Pittsburgh native, played his college ball at Penn State, now in the NFL with Philadelphia Eagles, coming back home. He's played well at Heinz Field, though, before with the Nittany Lions against Pitt a few years back, as he mentioned this past week, leading up to the game, as we're about ready to kick off from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Once again, with the Eagles and Steelers, Doug Peterson and Mike Tomlin, two Super Bowl winning head coaches. There's Boston Mass Scott back deep to receive this Steeler kickoff, as the Eagles will in fact receive. Ball going to be fielded at the goal line, out past the 10-yard line on the return, 15, and brought down to the 16-yard line. So that's for the Eagles in the National Football League, NFL Week 5, Eagles, Steelers, live reactions, play-by-play. Thank you once again for tuning in and watching. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Establish a run game for both of these teams. Defenses will play pretty good. Pittsburgh averaging about 26 points a game. Philly had about that last week in their win on the road on Sunday night against the 49ers, as they almost blew it, as the Falcons have a few times this year. It is, in fact, Breast Cancer Awareness Month as well, so you see some players donning some pink socks and armbands. From the 17 officially, 1st and 10 for the Eagles, and Sanders going to get the carry, loss of 2 for him, and Vinnie Williams on the stop. His first tackle for loss here in today's ball game. And of course, you see the 5,500 that are about in attendance, all of course scattered out, wearing masks. Nobody in the upper deck by any means that I can tell. Now we got a little bit of a delay for some reason.
It's been a learning process to
I don't understand why we have a stoppage. The clock is in fact stopped. However, that previous play was a run play. Loss in the backfield, so the clock should continue to roll here. Okay, fouls by both teams now. They're going to offset. Personal foul on Philly. Personal foul on Pittsburgh. They're going to offset. They're going to replay second down. So they're going to take 3 seconds off the clock. 14:41 now to play here in the opening quarter. Still 2nd and 12 after the offsetting penalty. Wentz going to be in the gun. Sanders to his left, trips near side, right to left across your television screen, radio and audio dial. Wentz pump fakes, steps up, and he's going to be brought down after a few yard pickup once again by Vince Williams and Mike Hilton. So it'll be 3rd and 10 from the original line of scrimmage. Pittsburgh making a few big stops here on defense so far. I mean, of course, offsetting penalties. You don't want to see penalties by either side, especially a personal foul by any means. But nonetheless, we play on. Trips now, top of your screen. Wentz still in the gun. Going to get the snap from the center. Travis Kelce's brother, Jason Kelce. Bud Dupree off the edge. Wentz being pressured, going to be sacked back at the 8-yard line by T.J. Watt. Turned down for Watt, 4th down. Philadelphia as the Steelers force the Eagles to an early 3 and out. Pittsburgh brought 5, and then Edmonds coming up from the secondary. T.J. Watt, one of the 3 Watt boys in the National Football League. J.J. down in Houston as they're looking for a new head coach as they fired Bill O'Brien this past Monday. Derek with the Steelers as well, however, inactive today at the fullback position. Deontay Johnson back at the 40-yard line on the punt return. Makes a few men miss, gets out to the 47-yard line on the return. So 1st and 10 Steelers from there for their opening drive. And for some reason they say 1st and goal Steelers from the 47, but some technical difficulties. A graphic mistake from Fox on CBS in my area as well. Ravens Bengals, as mentioned, coming up at halftime. We'll take a look around the league, see what's going on. I'm sure we'll have some updates throughout today's contest as well. But stats and scores coming up at halftime and at the end of the ball game, and maybe we'll have some bonus coverage as well at the end of today's game. Empty set, and that is Ray McLeod, number 14. He gets 2 on the bubble screen to the top of your screen. Steelers left to right across the field. So out of the empty 5 wide, bend for 2 yards as Anthony Tony McFarland, number 26, number formerly worn by Le'Veon Bell, who's active for the Jets today for the first time since week 1. Rookie out of Maryland comes into the ball game at tailback, back at the 40-yard line. Ben going to be under center. Ray McLeod in motion. Handoff to McFarland. He gets out past the 50 to the 48 for a pickup of 4. It'll be 3rd down and about 6. It'll be 3rd and medium for the Steelers on their opening drive. Another empty set from the 48. Officially 3rd and 4. So if I can do math correctly, 2 on the first play, 4 on the second. And a slant over the middle, complete. 85, Eric Ebron, former Lion and Colt, in the ball game a couple weeks back against the Texans for what seemed like the first time this season. They needed to go to the tight ends more with Ebron and McDonald. They finally did that 2 weeks back. Once again, early on today, doing the same thing. Establish the run game, open up the play action, go deep to your receivers and Juju, Deontay Johnson, James Washington, Ray McLeod with a catch early on. Chase Claypool as well, rookie out of Notre Dame, and then with Ebron and McDonald. However, in the meantime, Pittsburgh going to have to call their first time out here in the first half with 11:01 to play in the opening quarter, as they will in fact have a 1st and 10 when we do return. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Hit that thumbs up button. Share on social media as well. Hashtag NFL. Hashtag PHI versus PIT. Chat questions and comments. Super chat, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated.
The loss of youth. He wants what he can never have.
Well, he's got a text from Amy. She's not coming. Again.
But I brought all this cheese.
That's it. Who thinks we should vote out of the book club?
You know what? Forget Amy. But can we talk about this honeymoon scene?
The fighting spirit is one we all share. For Eduardo Perez, it drove him to thrive in his search for a better life. Immigrating from Guatemala at 18, he found work as a dishwasher, a line cook, sous chef, and eventually fought to the top of one of the most challenging professions in the world, proving that there is no challenge that can hold back a fighting spirit. Since 1925, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters what you're made of. Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
Today.
That's a buffalo flatbread. Huh? The new grilled buffalo chicken papadilla. Tangy buffalo sauce, grilled chicken, and melty cheese for just $6. Papa John.
So Pittsburgh called a timeout, and rather than have an illegal formation along with just making sure they're set, have the right play called, everybody's in the right spot, safe to call a timeout. Back from the commercial, 1st and 10 from the 44. Connor gonna get the carry. He gets 2 yards. So Juju in there, James Washington in there, along with Deontay Johnson. Haven't seen Chase Claypool as of yet. Maybe that's why Ray McLeod has been playing here early and often on the opening drive for the Steelers. Another empty set, 5 wide. Ben pump fakes. He's going to go down on the sack as well, back at the 48-yard line. So both defenses with a sack apiece now here in the first 5 minutes. It'll be 3rd and long for Pittsburgh as Fletcher Cox brings down Big Ben. Good pressure by Philly. They only bring a few, and for some reason they still get the Roethlisberger. Ben in a little pain there by the looks of it, but he'll continue to play. Dumps it off to Deontay Johnson, who's going to get leveled at the 45-yard line after dancing around and going east and west rather than north-south for a first down. And Pittsburgh, after a few first downs, drive's going to stall around midfield after a timeout and then a sack. 4th and long, here comes Colquitt on to punt. And Philadelphia going to get the ball back. Fair catch signaled for at the 14-yard line. that's where Philadelphia will begin their next drive. So, not that good of, and that's not a good sign by any means as they head to commercial break. Ben holding his right elbow once again, the same elbow he injured in week 2 last year. That cost him the season, along with potentially his career. However, surgery, made a return, playing some damn good football right now, coming off a early unexpected bye week, as mentioned, due to the Titan game postponement. That's now going to be played on the 25th of October in 2 weeks, as mentioned. They'll play the Browns next week after the Eagles today. Then they go to Tennessee. Then they go to Baltimore. November 1st was their originally scheduled bye week, but the Raven game gets pushed back from the 25th to the 1st. Then they go to Dallas on the 8th. And then the season will progress from then, of course. As mentioned, it is still a very, very long season. Pittsburgh only at 3-0. A few teams now shuffling their franchise around. Facilities closed due to COVID positives. Hopefully everyone's staying safe here in the year of 2020. That, as mentioned, has been whack and all blur as of late, at least, ever since the middle of March, and we're now here in the middle of October, 7 months later. Thanksgiving, Christmas, right around the corner. We actually have a few good Thanksgiving games in the NFL this year, along with a Christmas Day game in New Orleans, as the Vikings will play the Saints. So Steelers will go to Baltimore now on November the 1st, a week later than expected, and then they'll host Baltimore on Thanksgiving night on NBC, a little over a month away. But the Eagles today, the Browns, they are playing the Colts, so that's a game to keep an eye out for the Steeler Nation, as Pittsburgh will in fact play Cleveland at home for the first time next week. They'll then close out the year in Cleveland on January the 3rd. But not a good sign right there for Pittsburgh, with Roethlisberger holding his right elbow once again. If need be, they'll have to go to Mason Rudolph. Josh Dobbs inactive, who they recently acquired once again after trading him to Jacksonville last year. Played with the Jags all last year. Signed him after he was released at the start of the season. However, not good starting field position for Philadelphia once again here in the first quarter. They started their first drive from the 17, this from the 14. Greg Ward Jr., the former Houston Coug quarterback, now playing wide out in the NFL, number 84, on the completion on the slant over the middle. It'll be second down for Philadelphia. Philly honestly has not been the same ever since they won Super Bowl 52 with Foles. That's why I said, as mentioned before, I'm a little shocked they kept Wentz and not Foles. But Foles, honestly, when he's put in a starting position, other than Philly, other than this past Thursday night with the Bears against the Buccaneers, excuse me, he doesn't play that well. He's better in relief. He's more of a Mariano Rivera type, as the MLB playoffs will in fact continue as well, beginning today with the championship series. Pass incomplete, intended near side for Zach Ertz. Incomplete, 4th down and 5. And Philadelphia, once again, will go 3 and out. So both defenses holding down the fort, so to speak, here early on. And some good coverage by Pittsburgh. So we'll have to see if now Pittsburgh can get anything going on offense, or if it's going to be a low-scoring defensive affair this afternoon. Deontay Johnson back deep to receive, filled at the 32-yard line. Some decent blocking. He gets about 5 yards on the return, and now he's down. It seems to be like just got his bell rung, injured. Deontay Johnson, all season long, has, early on at least, either made a mistake got hurt, and then throughout the ball game, saved himself with a few big plays. I mean, hell, a couple weeks back, I believe it was against Denver, he had almost 100 yards receiving after the second consecutive game of a muffed punt in the first few minutes of the game. But we'll see if it's going to turn into a defensive showdown or not. I mean, both defenses playing good so far, holding both Philly and Pittsburgh on offense to less than 20 yards, I'd say, total. Not combined for both teams, but a piece, as Philly hasn't been able to move the ball at all. Pittsburgh had, one first down before a timeout and a sack. So, still, it's early. Establish a running game, open up the play action, play good defense, rely on your special teams when needed, of course. But still a lot of football left to be played. Of course, yeah, I might be getting a little too far ahead of myself, but right now neither team has much going on either end. So something's got to give. We'll have to see what does in fact happen. But still, once again, should be a very, very interesting game, especially with whoever wins this, at least for the next 4 years, because Pittsburgh in the AFC, Philadelphia in the NFC, they only meet once every 4 years, unless they, of course, meet in the Super Bowl. That, of course, almost happened back almost 15 years ago now. Actually, a little over 15 years. Back Super Bowl 39 in Jacksonville, as Pittsburgh lost to the Patriots in the NFC title game, along with Philadelphia defeating, I believe it was Atlanta and Michael Vick in the NFC title game that year. So we could have had a Pennsylvania Super Bowl, but we still haven't to this point. But here we are, Ben, in October at home, 23-2. I'm trying to recall those two losses. I'd have to say Baltimore, and I'd have to say, as James Conner gets the carry, he gets about a yard out of the gun. And now we got our first update, and it'll be Cardinals-Jets. Joe Flacco in for Sam Darnold, who's out injured. Chase Edmonds from about 25 plus out for 6, so Arizona up 7-0 early on the road against the Jets. Trey Edmonds active for Pittsburgh today in the backfield, activated off the practice squad. So it'll be Connor, Snell, McFarland, and Trey Edmonds. Pass complete to James Washington, the former Blitnikoff winner out of Oklahoma State. His former college quarterback as well, Mason Rudolph, backing up Big Ben today. That went for 6, so 3rd down and 4. Let's see what Pittsburgh does here. About midway through the opening quarter now. Another empty 5 wide from the 44. Play clock winding down. Ben with a quick slant over the middle, complete at midfield. There's Chase Claypool, the rookie out of Notre Dame. His fighting Irish with a win over Florida State last night. First down Steelers. Claypool in the slant, as we had 3 near side out of the empty. Left to right once again. Claypool with his first reception here this afternoon. Goes for a big Steeler first down out past midfield once again, but will the drive stall like it did last time, or will they continue to drive and score points here in the first? Claypool in motion, hand off to James Conner, the 45. That goes for about 4 yards as well, 2nd down. So Cardinals up 7-0. That's the only update we have as of now. We'll check more into the other games a little bit later on. But Joe Flacco, the former Raven and Bronco, and for Sam Darnold, who very well could be on the trade block if the Jets were willing to move on from the former number 3 overall pick a few years back. However, I don't think that would be a good decision. The Jets, they need to figure out their management before they figure out what the hell they're going to do with players on the field that actually play football. Houston, they said they're going to hire a general manager before a new head coach. Keep an eye out for Eric Bieniemy, as mentioned last Monday. Kansas City Chief offense coordinator. Will not be shocked if he takes the Texan job with Deshaun Watson, potentially as his new quarterback, as he's done some pretty damn good things with Patty Mahomes and the Chiefs, who are hosting the Vegas Raiders today in Kansas City. 3rd and 6 from the 45, another slant over the middle on a crossing route. James Washington complete. First down, Steelers once again inside the 40. So Pittsburgh now starting to move the ball. They have Philly on their heels, it seems like. And Ben actually getting the ball out very, very quickly this afternoon. He's been known as of late, yes, to get the ball out in a few seconds, but here in the first quarter, it seems like he's getting the snap and throwing it right off the bat. And for some reason, Alejandro Villanueva is in motion. Now, I don't know if he lined up wrong on the right side at right tackle, as he's the left tackle and had to get over there real quick before they snapped 2nd down and a short. 2nd and 2 officially, as Ben was out of the gun. McFarland to his left, and it was a simple handoff to Ray McLeod. That'll go as a pass for Big Ben. So now 2nd and 2 from the 25. A quick bubble screen, top of your screen once again, incomplete. And there we are with Ben trying to get the ball out quicker than usual, and James Washington not ready for it. It falls incomplete. So 3rd down and 2. But they are targeting most, except Juju Smith-Schuster, of course, most of all the receivers on offense here so far today. And as Juju does not have a catch as of yet, but don't be shocked if he ends up with a touchdown on this drive. Been able to run the ball decently well, Connor and McFarland as of now. Chase Claypool on the end around. He's going to pick up a first down. He's down. That goes for 3. That's a first down. Ball came out. So Philly's saying that's a fumble they have. Now we got a little bit of a scuffle, pushing and shoving back and forth. No flags thrown as of yet. And they'll let them play. Starting to get a little chippy, though. But they're getting James Washington, Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, along with Ray McLeod, surprisingly, involved here early on. Yeah, that's a first down. He reached for the first down marker. And, yeah, the ball came out, but he's down. And then the ball came out, so no fumble. First down Steelers. Better hurry up. Play clock winding down. Maybe reset the play clock to 25. We're already at a few seconds. Okay. Zebra's talking it over, so play clock does expire, but we have a stoppage once again with 2:51 to play in the first. Starting to hear some boos from the about 5,500 that are in attendance, whether they are, in fact, a Eagle or Steeler fan, as we have today's Keystone State battle in Pittsburgh at Heinz Field. So they reset it to 3:15. Just a second under Austin. 3:16. 1st and 10 Steelers from the 22. Ben out of the gun once again. Knocking on the door. Running outside the red zone. Looking to throw. Gonna roll out near side. Gets rid of it. We've got a flag in the backfield. Ball incomplete. Intended, I believe that's Deontay Johnson. And this is gonna be a hold on Pittsburgh, as that came from the Whitecapper in the backfield, as mentioned, and 9 times out of 10 it's a hold. So it'll be 10 yards, and they'll replay it down. Yeah. It was on Okafor. They'll replay it down. That's a little bit of a shock. First holding on the Steeler offense so far this season. 5 weeks in today with the 4th overall game, as mentioned after the early bye week last week. They were supposed to play in Tennessee, come home, play Philly today, before Cleveland, and then Baltimore, and then a bye week. But, of course, the schedule now for everybody in the NFL seems like all messed up. 1st and 20 from the 32. Fake the give. A little bit of a play action here from Ben Roethlisberger. He's going to dump it off. Vance Ronald McDonald gets to the 27-yard line. So 2nd and, I'd say about 15 after a decent pickup there on 1st and long. Let's see officially where they spotted at and what the down and distance will in fact be. Oh, he had Ebron. Down the middle going towards the far sideline, but Ben was rolling out near side and McDonald right in front of him, so he dumps it off. Officially 2nd and 16 from the 28. Play clock winding down. Ben gets the snap. Deep down the near side. That's pass interference, no? Incomplete. Intended for James Washington. Austin, 3rd and 16 for Pittsburgh. And now we've got a late flag. This will either be a defensive hold or a PI on the Eagle defense. And okay, watching that replay now, that's iffy. That's right down the middle. That's a good no call. And then they throw the late flag. But if I'm Pittsburgh, of course, I'm going to take the pass interference against the Eagle defense. That's 15 yards, an automatic first down for the Steelers. So 1st and goal now for Pittsburgh. They should have kept that as a no call, but they threw the flag late. And now Pittsburgh has 1st and goal, knocking on the door as we near the end of the 1st quarter. Number 65 for Pittsburgh is eligible, so they bring some hogs in the block. Ball going to be spotted officially for this 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. Ben under center. Fake the give. And far corner incomplete, intended for Juju Smith-Schuster. 2nd and goal. 2:02 to play in the 1st. Tie ball game. 0 apiece if you're just now tuning in. Chat questions in the comments. Always greatly appreciated. As mentioned, I'll get to those in a second. Like, follow, and subscribe as well on social media. Links in the description below. Ben took a little bit of a hit as he let it go, but stays upright and then shakes his head. He's got a little bit better protection here, as he's been forced to get rid of the ball very quickly today. James Washington in motion, handoff. James Conner, he's going to lower his shoulder and get to about the 3-yard line. So now 3rd and goal for Pittsburgh. Under 2 to play in the 1st. And honestly, well, here comes a flag. We'll see what this is. See what the dirty laundry is from the Zebras. I'd be fine with a field goal here, but it would be a little bit of a disappointment if they don't score a touchdown, especially if this penalty is once again against the Eagle defense, giving them automatic 1st and goal. After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the Eagle defense. Half the distance, automatic 1st down, will be 1st and goal. So now Pittsburgh once again has another 4 shots to punch it in. And if in fact they don't score a touchdown now, this will be a disappointment. I would have took a field goal if they wanted to convert on 3rd and goal there, but the penalty came in after the previous play and now an automatic 1st and goal. So Pouncey at the 2, hands off to Ben, as he hands off to Benny Snell, former Wildcat from Lexington, Kentucky. No gain for him, 2nd and goal. As you see all the fans spread out, of course, wearing their masks due to COVID protocols and restrictions. So now Ben under center, Claypool motion, end around to him. Once again, he's going to walk in the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Chase Claypool with his first ever rushing touchdown now in the National Football League. Had a 80-yard reception for a TD a couple weeks back for his first receiving touchdown in the National Football League. Now on the end around on 2nd and goal from the 2 here today against the Eagles. Gets in the end zone, touchdown Steelers. Chris Boswell on for the extra point.
We talked about this is a success that the Steelers are going to have, running laterally with these receivers, making it difficult for that D-line to tee off.
Extra point up and good. Pittsburgh now with 1:04 to play in the opening quarter. They lead the Philadelphia Eagles 7-0 as we'll head to another commercial break. Thank you once again for tuning in and watching. I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button once more. Share as well. Hashtag NFL, hashtag PHI versus PIT for Philadelphia versus Pittsburgh. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciate the Steelers. With a minute to play in the first, lead the Eagles 7-0.
What you're made of, we're made for. Tonight, I'll be eating a veggie cheeseburger on ciabatta. No tomatoes.
Tonight, I'll be eating 4-cheese tortellini with extra tomatoes.
So it's come to me.
Thank you. Bravo. Careful how daddy's not here to save you.
Oh, I am my daddy. Wait, what?
What are you talking about?
Football was a passion that turned into an obsession until one day I became an optometrist that watches a lot of football.
That's made for football. Watch it.
That is definitely me. I should be in that commercial, not that guy. I don't know if you folks just had the same commercial or not, but it seems like one of the, whether you say pop or soda, companies has started to roll out a new commercial saying their drink is in fact made for watching football. That was their longest drive of the season at 14 plays. That's a little bit of a shock, but hey, still ended in points, so that's all that matters. Pittsburgh leads 7-0. Eagles back deep to receive their second kickoff now here today. And this will be down in the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 Eagles with their best starting field possession from the 25-yard line.
Wrong. Game's still open. Win 100 grand of Terry's money.
What about him?
Signing in under alias. See if I can win 100,000. Well, you know Terry is keeping an eye on his former team. He did a terrific interview with Ben Roethlisberger.
So Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma on the call for Fox this afternoon. Albert, most recently in the NHL bubble, up in the Great White North. However, now back in the States a few weeks after the NHL season wrapped up. NBA wrapping up this week as well, whether that be tonight or on Tuesday. Baseball playoffs, as mentioned, now in the championship series. Rams with a 13-7 lead on the road against the Redskins, the new Washington football team, as they've played now on the East Coast 3 times already this year against Philadelphia, Buffalo, and now Washington. Wentz looking to throw, gets drilled as he lets it go, but right on the money, actually a little too far for Hightower, his intended target, and the ball will in fact fall incomplete. 3rd down and 9, under a minute to play here in the opening quarter. Some busted coverage by Pittsburgh. Steven Nelson coming from behind, and Wentz, as he let it go, got drilled, and just about a yard too far for Hightower, falls incomplete. Edmonds with the pressure on Wentz, as Wentz is now holding his midsection. Sudfeld inactive today for the Eagles, so we'll have to see if Wentz would in fact go down with an injury, comes in to replace. Miles Sanders, the Pittsburgh native, gonna go for a very, very long touchdown, as the Eagles are gonna be now an extra point away from a tie ball game. 74 yards officially for Miles Sanders, who played his high school ball in the Steel City, college ball at Penn State, now a Philadelphia Eagle. And on 3rd down and 9, a simple handoff to Miles Sanders. He breaks a few tackles, had a few good blocks in front of him, and he goes 74 yards. Yeah, simple halfback draw. And looking good. Tie ball game once again, 7 apiece. So Pittsburgh with a very long drive. Eagles with what looked to be their 3rd consecutive 3-and-out in the first quarter. Sanders breaks one off and goes the distance for a touchdown. And just like that, we're tied up once again. Maybe a little bit of a hold right there at the 30-yard line, but I'll let it slide. Of course, they didn't throw the flag by any means, but Sanders for 6. Backed up Saquon Barkley before taking over at Penn State, and then drafted by the Eagles. He's a Pennsylvania boy for sure. So 7-7 with 7 seconds to play in the first. Somebody please play the lottery for myself right now. 777. And both quarterbacks here so far are getting banged up, as we see Mason Rudolph up on the Steelers sideline with his helmet on, but Ben looks good to go, and he'll come back into the ball game on the next Steeler drive. Wow. That is hard to believe. A 20-year record just broken by Miles Sanders. That's hard to believe. Sanders with a 74-yard touchdown run, breaking Brian Mitchell's previous record set 20 years ago in 2000 against the Atlanta Falcons. And somebody, yes, roll the dice and let's all get lucky. 7 apiece, 7-7 with 7 seconds to play in the first. And once again, I swear to God I'm bugged, because 9 times out of 10, some of the things I say, 5 to 10 seconds, if not a little bit later on, whether it be football or wrestling, the announcers say the same exact thing or something similar. 1st and 10 from the 25. Ben out of the gun, going to hand off James Conner, and no gain for him. So here early on, as that's officially now the end of the first quarter, Pittsburgh out of the 2nd and 10 to begin quarter 2. Still tied at 7 apiece. Seems like today Conner's going to not have a good game, but it's still early He's always been known, especially this year at least, to have started out slow until Pittsburgh, mid-second quarter, entering halftime, gaining some momentum, finding their rhythm, establishing that run game with the committee, with Connor. McFarland playing a little bit more than Snell today for some reason. And then, as mentioned, Trey Edmonds active as well. So, as long as they all get around 35, 40 total all-purpose yards, as they haven't honestly really yet established the screen game, even though we've had a few bubble screens to the receivers with Ray McLeod and James Washington. They haven't run the screen with any of the backs out of the backfield as of yet, but hey, it's only the now second quarter, but still, they know. And of course, they've had extra practice now too, because they didn't know they were on a bye week until 2 days before last week with the early bye week. And normally when you have a bye week, you'll go vacation or do whatever players normally do. However, with COVID, you have to stay in your respective city. And with the daily testing in the National Football League, that was safe for a little over 3.5 weeks until we've had a few positives on a few different teams now the past week and a half or two, with Tennessee, of course, having the most, and then now Kansas City, New England, even Denver, Pittsburgh, and Miami now even affected because of the postponements. But even with the world here in the U.S. at least somewhat getting back to normal, this coronavirus, this COVID-19 pandemic, even at this point, whether it's political or not, which if you had any common sense, you would know that it's not political. It's a very, very serious issue that we need to still take this seriously. And of course, wear your mask, and we'll all get to what we know as a normal life, hopefully sometime soon. But I mean, the state of Pennsylvania here with this Eagle-Steeler game today, actually surprised that they let fans in attendance, but hey, it is what it is. If only they weren't as harsh as they were, before, with King Wolf down in Harrisburg with his little sidekick. But Roethlisberger complete in the meantime after a loss on first down. We had a 2nd and 11, pass complete. Chase Claypool, far sideline, goes for about, I'd say 15 yards or so there. First down, black and gold. So Claypool emerging as the number 2 receiver, maybe even 3 behind Juju and Deontay Johnson. But if you get them all involved, as James Conner breaks a run of his own out past midfield, past the 40 to 35-yard line, 1st and 10 Steelers, a former Pitt Panther, played his college ball at Pitt at Heinz Field, originally from Erie, and has been with the Steelers now his whole entire career, has battled cancer. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Shout out to everyone who has, in one way or another, been affected by cancer. Thoughts and prayers to you. 1st and 10, Connor, and he's going to get about 8. And here we go. The Pennsylvania's Two finest running backs in today's game was Miles Sanders and James Conner. Sanders from Pittsburgh, as mentioned. Conner from Erie. Sanders played at Woodland Hills. Conner played at Erie McDowell. Sanders goes to Penn State. Conner goes to Pitt. Sanders gets drafted by the Eagles. Conner gets drafted by the Steelers. And Tony McFarland out of Maryland gets about 3 yards. It'll be third down and about 7. 3rd and 6 officially here. 12:22 to play in the first half. We are Penn State. Hell to Pitt. Whatever way you side. Yes, that is in fact a great rivalry. Will they play again? Who knows? But of course, if you can't tell, you know my opinion. But now in the NFL, all that's put aside, especially for today's game. Chase Claypool over the middle, and he's going to score once again. This time, a receiving touchdown from Ben Roethlisberger, and he does a little bit of a layup for his celebration before hugging it out with James Conner, as now it's turned into a boxing match. Pittsburgh 13-7 pending the extra point. No flag on the play, so from 32 yards out, a simple post over the middle. Claypool catches it about 12 yards deep at the 20 and walks in the end zone once again for another Steeler touchdown. Here's Boswell for the extra point. Kicks up in good. 14-7 Pittsburgh on top of Philadelphia with 11:49 to play in the first half. Pittsburgh now, along with Philadelphia, after some early slow starts, both offenses now at least finding that momentum, gaining rhythm, and able to drive the ball and score. So roles are reversed. Defenses were playing well early. Nothing going on for the offenses. Now offenses are playing well. Defenses can't make a stop. So something's got to give eventually. We'll see what Philadelphia does on their upcoming drive once we come back from this commercial break. Coming up at halftime, as mentioned, stats and scores from the first half, along with some scores from around the league. So stay tuned for those. And thank you once again for tuning in and watching. Be sure to tune back in tomorrow night as well for WWE Monday Night Raw, as the draft will in fact continue and then conclude tomorrow night on the USA Network for Monday Night Raw. We'll have Monday Night Football on in the meantime, with now only the one Monday night game with Chargers Saints from New Orleans, as Broncos Patriots has once again been postponed until next week. So those teams now finding out the day of travel that their game would in fact be postponed, so they get a bye week, and they practice and practice. Talking about practice, they're not going to play now. So it's just the world we live in with COVID here in 2020. It's been something new every day, since the middle of March, and eventually something, has got to give. But nonetheless, you keep doing what you got to do to move forward. And of course, these games will in fact be played at a later point now, with the schedules going to be affected. Of course, we'll see if the NFL adds weekday games or weeknight games rather than having doubleheaders on Monday night, or hell, they do have a Tuesday night game scheduled as of now, but as mentioned earlier, that game could also be affected because the Titans once again shut down their facilities. So even though they're playing at home, the Buffalo has to travel. Of course, we'll have an official announcement. I'll check if I have any more breaking news a little bit later on. But see, last week, Monday night, with New England and Kansas City, the Patriots left early Monday morning and got there around lunchtime. Normally, you leave the day before, you stay the night, and then you play the game the next day and then leave to go home. But with everything going on, it is what it is, and until we get back to a full, complete normal with how we know it, this is how it's going to be. And it's there's always a plan B, so we'll go to that when needed. And Ben Roethlisberger's still playing. Jonathan Vilma, who was drafted out of the U to the Jets in the same draft, now up in the booth calling today's game. I didn't honestly know he left ESPN for Fox, but he's now working for Fox. And today's color commentator alongside play-by-play Kenny Albert, and Eagles-Steelers on Fox today because it is a 1 o'clock kick in Pittsburgh. Now, if they were playing at 4:25, could go either way, regardless of the site. Whether, of course, that be in Philadelphia or Pittsburgh. So 4:25 on either CBS or Fox. But today, normally when Philly comes to Pittsburgh, it's always at 1 on Fox, and that's how it is once again today. Wentz on second down. Wentz pass incomplete near side. 10 for Fulgham, taking over the number 13, formerly worn by Nelson Aguilar, who is now catching balls in the National Football League for the Raiders. Played at ODU, down the 7.57, and has bounced around the league, but now making a name for himself with the Philadelphia Eagles. Ball at the 38, 2nd and 10, left and right for Philadelphia. Wentz complete, and he goes to Fulgham for the 3rd consecutive play, and for the 2nd time in the last 3 plays, it goes for a completion. Now another update: Cincinnati on the road in Baltimore, taking on the Ravens, and Lamar Jackson and company rolling midway through the 2nd quarter, 17-0 over rookie quarterback Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, who also picked up their first win last week after both Philadelphia and Cincinnati tied the week before. Another empty set, 5 wide from the 45. Maybe a false start there, no flag, but they play on. Wentz was brought down the sack and then complete the 46-yard line in Steeler territory now. Now we got a flag coming in late. We'll see what this is. Maybe a late hit on Vince Williams. So they'll tack on 15 yards. It'll be an automatic first down. Personal foul, roughing the passer. Yeah, that's on Vince Williams. 15 yards, automatic first down. Pass was complete. Number 13, Fulgham. Once again, Travis Fulgham, 13. And that's a nice catch. He bobbled it, almost dropped it, and still came down with it somehow. And another Eagle first down. Very impressive the past few weeks. Making a name for himself in the city of brotherly love. 1st and 10 from the 31. Wentz, that's a false start again. The right tackle moved. Throw the flag. Pass going to be caught. Minkah Fitzpatrick on a missed tackle. And once again, Fulgham. This is Fulgham's drive right now for Philadelphia. And Minkah lowered his shoulder coming up from safety. And I don't know how he did not tackle him. A complete missed tackle and a few yak yards and another first down for the Eagles. They're going to go to Ertz now here as they're in the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 13. Another handoff though in the meantime. And Boston Mascot gets to the 10 for a pickup of 3. 2nd and 7 as the Eagles trail by 7, 14-7. here in the first half on the road against the Steelers today. This Travis Fulgham is establishing himself as the go-to number one receiver in Philadelphia right now, with both Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey out today with injuries. Fulgham, Greg Ward, go to Ertz when you need to, run the ball with Sanders and Scott. Huntley inactive today as well. Pump fake by Wentz, and then picks up a few yards up the middle on his legs. It'll be 3rd and 4 after another 3-yard gain. There's Jalen Hurts on the sideline, the former Crimson Tide and Sooner quarterback. They have yet to use him today. See if they bring him in at all on some of these packages. 3rd and 4. Another empty slant over the middle, and they go to Ertz. He's going to be down at the 1-yard line. He was down. Ball came out. Philadelphia recovers in the end zone. So no fumble, and then a touchdown or a touchback. They say Ertz was down at the 1. See a replay here. Caught it at the 3. Reached for the goal line. He's brought down. Then the ball came out. So he's down at the 1. It'll be 1st and goal now, Eagles. First and goal from the 1. Sneak it. Hand off to Sanders again. Now we got a whistle. See what the Zebras have to say now. Previous play might be under further review. And okay, the Eagles called a timeout. So they don't like what they saw on 1st and goal from the 1. They'd rather call a timeout with about 6 minutes to play in the first half. Make sure they get it right. Punch it in here to tie it up once again at 14 before Pittsburgh will get the ball back before halftime. So now both teams with 2 timeouts remaining and 2-minute warning still to come. Here in the first half, it's 14-7 Pittsburgh on top of Philadelphia.
Lead the Philadelphia Eagles 14-7. Eagles started this drive at their 24-yard line. Now 1st and goal at the Pittsburgh 1. Yeah, it's been the Fulgham show, right? He's been catching all the balls. Aside from the last one, and he's been doing with the quick out routes. He had a nice over route.
Maybe they go back to Fulgham on a fade far corner as he's lined up by himself out wide, top of your screen. Wentz out of the gun. 1st and goal from the 1. Hand off Sanders, and he's going to get in. Touchdown, Philadelphia. So Chase Claypool and Miles Sanders, 2 touchdowns apiece here in the first half for the Steelers and Eagles, respectively. Did he get in? Yeah, that's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. Might have ourselves a shootout now as well. But I would think before halftime or early in the second half, these defenses are going to start to step up and they'll start to make stops that they did before we've. So extra point up and good. We'll see what still is yet to come. We're tied at 14. Eagles on the road against the Steelers.
That's why we have the most satisfied customers in wireless. And it's about to get even better. Sprint is now part of T-Mobile. If
Getting a little sick of hearing that song because it's literally in about 4 or 5 commercials right now, all at the same time, which is a little bit of a shock, but at the same time it's not. Now it's Lime Time with Tony Romo, as him and Jim Nance will be on the call for a CBS game later on this NFL Week 5. But we'll have to see how these NFL games play out today before, of course, we recap the week tomorrow night and then preview week 6. Thursday night, as of now, is supposed to be Kansas City and Buffalo, but that's probably going to change if Tennessee does, in fact, play the Bills on Tuesday, because they're not going to turn around and play a home game 2 days later. That'd be a very, very extra short week than normal, but we'll see what happens. It's a ever-changing world right now, and hey, whatever happens, happens. So it is what it is. We'll move ahead once again, a touchback on the kickoff, and the Steelers are in fact going to get the ball back. Tied at 14 with Philadelphia Eagles. 1st and 10. Ball going to be at the 25-yard line. 6:17 to play in the first half. First and 10 from the 25. Ben in the gun. Drops back. Going deep down the far sideline. Has a man. We got a flag coming in. And it's incomplete. So there is a penalty flag, as mentioned. This will probably be another pass interference on Darius Slay.
We know that he's got some real good wheels, real good quickness right there. Darius Slay.
Pass interference on the Eagle defense once again on Darius Slay, number 24. Intended for Ray McLeod, who was, as Trey Edmonds was this week, activated from the practice squad. Ray was promoted from the practice squad to the active roster at the start of the season. Automatic first down after the pass interference penalty. Ball at the 40-yard line. Ben going to be under center. Chase Claypool in motion. Ben hands off James Conner. About a yard loss on that run. It'll be second down.
Yeah, that's too easy for the Eagles defense. You bring tackle over, Villanueva's going to be there. They're all now key. Heavy run. You have Villanueva on one side. You're bringing Gerald Hawkins to that side. So you already know the defensive line is ready for that. Jim Schwartz is ready for that. And you see the result right there. We're told DeCastro is down for the remainder of this game.
That's not good. David DeCastro once again out for the remainder of the game with another injury. So Pittsburgh on offense, on the offensive line, getting dinged up once again. There's a screen pass, complete. James Conner, that goes for 12 yards, first down Steelers.
Now that's a much better call. You made it too easy on the first down, second down. Set James Conner right here for a quick screen, and that's how you slow down that defensive line. You see
the play call by Randy Fiechner, the offensive coordinator. And they finally go to the screen game. And it works out. They pick up a first down. Now, don't go to it, back to back all the time and give it away. Establish a run game here. Continue to run the football. And then, they've been taking shots. So, Ben over the middle caught Eric Ebron for about 4 yards. It'll be second down and about 6 with 4.5 to play here in the first half.
Randy Fick, their offensive coordinator, raved about him, not only in passing game, but as a blocker as well, saying he's a very elite blocker. Now, haven't seen much of that, but I've seen him do a great job in the passing game. Runs routes like a wide receiver. Look, 20.
From the 46, 2nd and 7 officially. Ben pump fakes, going to step up, gets rid of it, and it's caught by Ebron once again at the 28. And they say caught, first down Steelers. Philadelphia on defense is saying incomplete, that it hit the ground. But even if it did hit the ground and he caught it, controlled and maintained possession, it's going to be a catch. See a replay here. That's a catch. That's a catch by far. He caught it, had both hands underneath the ball, and had a few inches between the bottom of his hands and the field. Pass over the middle. Incomplete in time for Chase Claypool once again. 2nd down and 10.
They saw that route already. Darius Slay, smart guy. What do? He goes on off coverage now. So he's in off man coverage. He's playing them. He says, okay, I remember that. That little post route. You're not going to get rid of that again. That's a veteran. Exactly. That's a veteran cornerback. And Jim Schwartz loved him in Detroit. Brought him over to Philly with him. And that is the #1 lockdown guy. He's going to play well. He may have a couple bombs, but he's going to do a good job at that corner spot.
2nd and 10 from the 29. Out of the pistol, Philadelphia jumps off sides. So that would be a 5-yard automatic first down, I do believe. 1st and 5, maybe. Encroachment off sides. It's 5 yards. Okay, they'll replay the down, 2nd down and 5. 3 and change to play here in the first half. Both teams, as I mentioned, still have 2 timeouts, 2-minute warning nearing now. Tied at 14 apiece. 2nd and 5 for the Steeler offense.
You don't have first team, second team. It's Alpha, Bravo, and boy, do they get out of it. They are good. Lead the league in sacks right now. They are good.
Ball now at the 24 following the penalty. Out of the gun, 2 receivers top, 2 receivers bottom of the screen. Connor now goes from the left to the right of Ben. Back shoulder complete near side. That's Juju Smith-Schuster for the first time this afternoon. First down Steelers. Now we got a late flag. We'll see what this is. But a good play call, a good back shoulder throw on the curl near side. And now we got a legal man downfield on the Steeler offense. So 5 yards, they'll back them up again, and it'll be 2nd and 10. So that offside and the illegal man downfield on the past 2 plays cancel each other out. So no first down completion from Ben to Juju. So 2nd and 10, back of the 29 again. Out of the gun. Man in motion. Handoff, actually a toss. And that was Benny Snell, if I'm not mistaken. No, Tony McFarland. 26, not 24. And no gain, 3rd down and 10. Drain the clock. The play clock and game clock about a 10-second differential right now. So by the time you snap it, don't get a first down, you take it 2 minutes, kick the field goal, go up 3, give Philly the ball back, under 2 minutes to play and 2 timeouts. Ben pump fakes, and then he's gonna, that was a little dangerous right there, but did look like it was behind the line of scrimmage. Was complete, James Conner, but no first down. So 4th down, 2 minutes to play, and Pittsburgh gonna have to settle for field goal. So once we come out of this 2-minute warning, following this commercial break, we'll get Boswell for about I'd say a 41, 42 yarder, depending on the spot. Connor only picked up about maybe 4 or 5 on that last play. So you do the math, you have the 24 plus the, we'll say it's 24, plus the 10 of the end zone, and then 7 of 8 from the snap to the hold to the kick. And yeah, it's going to be about a 41, 42, probably 43-yard attempt for Boswell to take the lead once again before giving Philly the ball back under 2 in the first half and 2 timeouts to, as mentioned, potentially drive and tie it up or take the lead, scoring a touchdown, heading on into halftime as Miles Sanders and Chase Claypool have 2 touchdowns apiece as we're tied at 14 right now. And as mentioned as well, coming with halftime stats and scores from around the league, so stay tuned.
President Trump is recovering from the coronavirus, and so is America. Together, we rose to meet the challenge, protecting our seniors, getting them life-saving drugs in record time, sparing no expense. President Trump tackled the virus head-on, as leaders should.
I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more.
We'll get through this together. We'll live carefully, but not afraid.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Would have loved to see O'Shea how his life would have turned out.
Tonight, police trying to sort out how a traffic stop escalated into an Arlington officer shooting and killing a driver.
Before they make the decision to pull the trigger, they need to consider this is someone's life. We all should be treated equally. We need for the way they got the law set up changed.
Rise at halftime coming up with Kirk Terry, Howie Michael, and Tony. Jake Laser with scoopage on the NFL schedule. Kyle Allen's first start for Washington. Teddy Bridgewater and the Panthers look to make it 3 consecutive wins. That's coming up on the Verizon halftime here in Pittsburgh. Chris
Boswell officially from 41 yards out. It's 4th down and 4. He's perfect on the season with his long coming from 41. This from 41 with 2 minutes to play. Kick's going to be up and good. 17-14, Pittsburgh on top of Philadelphia.
We are challenging all Eagles and Steelers fans to unite as Pennsylvanians and pass the vote.
Visit PhiladelphiaEagles.com/vote or rocktheboat.org/Steelers to check your voter registration status.
Our democracy works best when we all participate. It doesn't matter if you're an Eagles fan or a Steelers fan.
Make sure your voice is heard on November 3rd. If you aren't registered, go ahead and register and vote.
Good for Alex Smith. Alex Smith back in the National Football League, entering today's game for a injured Kyle Allen, who got the start in favor of a benched Dwayne Haskins. Alex Smith back in the National Redskins today for the first time since November of 2018, following a very significant leg injury that could have forced his career to end early. However, after almost 20 surgeries, he's back playing football, so good for Alex Smith. Very, very happy, good thing to see right there, as the Redskins are playing host to the Rams, as we see a video package on the 1943 Steagles, a combined team with the Steelers and Eagles, due to players that, well, here, hold off on that thought for a quick second. Another update: Panthers and Falcons from the ATL. Dan Quinn going to be fired tomorrow, if in fact Atlanta loses and falls 0-5. They trail Carolina 13-7. But the Steagles were a team during World War II, as both Pennsylvania teams merged and combined to form one team due to players joining the service during the war. And they were known as the Steagles, Steelers and Eagles together as one. And that's what we need to do in the year 2020 as well. As a community, as people, regardless of your skin color, your ethnicity, we're all human beings. We all need to get along, and we all need to move forward and be happy about it, whether you like it or not. Plain and simple, end of story. 2nd and 12 from the 23-yard line for the Philadelphia Eagles. Wentz out of the gun. They trail by 3, 17-14. Wentz pump fakes, former North Dakota State Bison. He's going to go down on another sack. Cam Hayward, former Buckeye from Columbus, Ohio. Big Ten football beginning. And now less than 2 weeks on the 24th, Ohio State will play Nebraska that day. Penn State will play Indiana a week later. Penn State will host the Ohio State Buckeyes right here in Happy Valley. And we'll take a timeout. 3rd down and long for Philadelphia at 17-14. Pittsburgh Steelers on top of the Eagles here as we near the end of the first half. As mentioned, coming up at halftime, first half stats and scores. Stay tuned. Talk about Carson Wentz coming out of North Dakota State. There's a current Bison quarterback that in Trey Lance, who could very well also be drafted early in next year's NFL draft in the first round. However, with only one game this fall, played last week in a win, that's the only tape we'll get to see of him this year. So depending on who has top picks next year and who needs a quarterback or who's going to trade up for a quarterback, keep an eye out for Trey Lance out of North Dakota State. As Carson Wentz has played well, but I don't think he's played good enough, and that's why I said earlier this season, if he doesn't play well this year, don't be surprised if they run him out of town and he's no longer a Philadelphia Eagle next year. But only time will tell. Still a long season, as mentioned. Hell, they're in first place in the NFC East because that division's god-awful. You got the Giants at 0-4. They're winless. They're on the road against a 1-3 Cowboy team that also should be winless, but because the Falcons can't recover an onside kick, Dallas came back from down 20-plus and won a few weeks back on a game-winning field goal by 1. And the Washington football team, the Redskins, are average. They got an easy schedule coming up, so they could be winning some games here sooner rather than later. But some key must-win games for all these teams. And like I said earlier, with Philly on the road in Pittsburgh today, Washington hosting the Rams, and the Giants and Cowboys playing each other in a few hours, a lot on the line. So we'll have to see what does in fact happen. Promo for the season premiere of Friday Night SmackDown for the WWE on Fox. We'll get the new SmackDown roster for the first time this upcoming Friday. Well, Monday Night Raw tomorrow night as well. Live reactions, play. So be sure to tune back in live right here on YouTube. But we'll have to see how the draft shakes out, as that'll continue tomorrow night. And then 1 week then from tomorrow for the first full week, we'll have the new Raw and SmackDown rosters. Moving towards Hell in a Cell in 2 weeks from today, where I'll also have live reactions play. So be sure to tune in. That day, the Steelers play at Tennessee now against the Titans in that rescheduled game. 3rd and 17 after a Steeler timeout. Wentz out of the gun looking to throw. He's going to be complete. That's Fulgham once again. And he has about every reception in this ball game for the Philadelphia Eagle offense so far. And how he got that wide open, I do not know. Now 1st and 10 from the 38 for the Eagles. Wentz going to be complete once again. And old Johnny Hightower for 9 yards. It'll be 2nd and 1. I think Philly just called a timeout. So they stopped the clock with 37 seconds to play. And now both teams have a timeout remaining. 17-14 Steelers. Okay, now we got breaking news in the NFL as well coming up at halftime, so they say, with the Chiefs' next game. They're currently playing the Raiders. However, Buffalo is supposed to host Kansas City on Thursday night, but with the Bills supposed to play Tuesday night in Tennessee against the Titans, that game is going to be pushed back more likely than not, unless Buffalo, Tennessee is not happening now on Tuesday, and then Kansas City. Have to check in to see if I have an update on that before we get to that point or not. No, nothing as of yet. So we'll have to wait till halftime for that. Pass was incomplete. Carson Wentz intended for Zach Ertz. 3rd and 1 with 32 seconds to play now in the first half. Pittsburgh might actually still get the ball back here if they can stop them right now on 3rd down. And Philly going to pick up the first down out past midfield. So if I'm Pittsburgh, I let the clock wind. Philly has a timeout left anyway. They're going to call it now. So they'll have to use the sidelines. Or if they get, of course, tackled in bounds, get up there and clock it, spike the ball. They're right on the outside of field goal range now, so that we could have a tie ball game at halftime once again at 17. But let's see what happens here in the next 27 seconds. First and 10 for Philly. Ball to 49. Philly does not have any more timeouts. Wentz, complete. And then they say incomplete, 10 for Miles Sanders. So that's the best thing that could have happened there for Philadelphia, because Sanders would have been brought down inbounds. They would have had to have hurried up to the line, snapped it real quick. Probably wouldn't have got anything out of it. Clock could have expired as well. 22 seconds to play now in the first half. Clock management with Philadelphia in situations like these, not that good. We saw it a few weeks back when they hosted the Bengals, and then they decided to punt in overtime to close out the game, forcing a tie. Wentz looking to throw, going deep, has a man in the end zone. It's going to be incomplete, intended for Hightower once again, and right on the money and right through his hands. Incomplete, 3rd down and 10. Joe Hayden on the coverage for the Steeler defense. Good throw by Wentz. Very good throw. And it went right through his arms, went right through his hands. Incomplete. 3rd down for Philadelphia. Wentz going deep again. Has a man inside the 20 at the 12. That's Arcega-Whiteside. They have no timeouts. The clock's going to expire. They can't get up there and spike it to settle for a field goal. And at halftime now, it's going to be Steelers 17, Eagles 14. So if only they had a few more seconds, or if they were just a little quicker at getting up there to spike it, Philadelphia would be settling for a field goal right now, forcing a tie at halftime. But at halftime, Pittsburgh leads Philadelphia by 3, 17-14, as Miles Sanders and Chase Claypool have 2 touchdowns apiece. Boswell with the difference for 3 points with a field goal. 17-14 Pittsburgh over the visiting Eastern Pennsylvania team in the western part of the state today. Pittsburgh 17, Philadelphia 14 once again. Now some halftime highlights. Carolina now 20-7 over the Atlanta Falcons. Dan Quinn's definitely getting fired. LA Rams against the team formerly known as the Washington Redskins, the Washington football team. Jared Goff with a rushing touchdown. Kyle Allen wearing Kirk Cousins' number 8. You like that? Well, Alex Smith does, because Kyle Allen went down with an injury, and Alex Smith back playing football in the NFL. He's going to go down on a sack, though. And in the meantime, the Rams lead the Skins by 10, 20-10 at halftime. Cardinals and Jets. Joe Flacco wearing gangrene. In for Sam Darnold, who's out injured. Jets off a Thursday night loss to the Broncos. Cardinals lead 14-3. Kyler Murray with a rushing touchdown. Derek Carr and the Raiders in Kansas City taking on the Chiefs. This game's also on CBS. And in the meantime, as it seems like we have a shootout, 24-21, Henry Ruggs, the Crimson Tide receiver, not named Amari Cooper, that is playing for the Raiders. Cooper, of course, and Big D now with the Cowboys. 70-yard touchdown for him. Raiders lead by 3, 24-21 on the road against the defending Super Bowl champs. Ravens lead the Bengals, as mentioned, still 17-0 now at halftime. Jaguars and Texans, no more Billy O'Brien, got fired on Monday. Jags in Houston. And it seems like Jacksonville's on top right now. No? Okay, well, at one point they were 7-3. But then Deshaun Watson to Darren Fells. And early third quarter already, Houston leads Jacksonville 10-7. So it seems like those are all the early 1 o'clock kicks right now in the National Football League. As mentioned, coming up at 4:25, Giants, Cowboys, along with Colts and Browns. We'll get some first half stats shortly with Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Once again, thank you for tuning in and watching my live reactions play-by-play. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. The thumbs up button, share, chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers, always greatly appreciated as well. So the NFL schedule being moved around. Chiefs, Bills Thursday night.
I told you earlier on the pregame show that the NFL was actually meeting today to try to make adjustments to that schedule. Now, in fact, we have breaking news.
Okay, breaking news.
Is being moved. Originally, we had the Chiefs and the Bills on our air.
Next Monday night, we're going to have a Monday night doubleheader for the third consecutive week. And it's going to be on Fox still. They're getting desperate, but they got to do what they got to do. They don't have as much time to work with, of course, with a 16-game regular season schedule, of course, and get these games in and played. So, third consecutive, that's going to be a big Monday night now next week, too. I'll get to that in a second. But first, as mentioned, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Links in the description below. At halftime, Pittsburgh leads Philadelphia 17-14. Thanks once again for tuning in and watching. So last week, we had a few postponements in the National Football League. We had Pittsburgh supposed to be in Tennessee taking on the Titans. It was supposed to be Steelers-Titans week 4. That's now week 7, 2 weeks from today on the 25th. So schedule is being moved around, of course, due to COVID, which it is what it is. And as mentioned, they don't have a lot of time to get these games in and played. So that's why we're seeing doubleheaders on Mondays now, because another game with Cam Newton testing positive with the New England Patriots. The Patriots were supposed to play in Kansas City last Sunday. That game got moved to 7 p.m. Eastern Time last Monday for the first of the doubleheader as we saw New England and Kansas City with the Chiefs victorious, and then Green Bay hosting Atlanta with the Packers also winners. Now, this week, tomorrow, we were supposed to, however, early this morning, they announced Broncos-Patriots postponed once again until now next week. So that game was originally supposed to be today at 4:25. However, postponed until tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday night for another doubleheader on Monday Night Football on ESPN. However, that game postponed now until next Sunday. We'll still get Chargers Saints tomorrow night now on Monday Night Football. Now, week 6 next week, as of now, will not kick off on Thursday Night Football. I don't know if they're going to add in a Thursday night game by any means as of right now or not. As mentioned earlier, I wouldn't be shocked if they did, and if they did add a game in, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Steelers-Browns. Once again, to give both teams a short week rather than playing next Sunday at 1 o'clock on CBS. I'll have live reactions play, so be sure to tune back in whenever, in fact, that game is in fact played. It's supposed to be next Sunday at 1. That's the plan as of now. Plans change, though. There's always a plan B because with COVID, it's 2020. It is what it is. And like I said, they don't have a whole lot of time to work with. So rather than, because right now the Bills are supposed to play the Titans this Tuesday at 7 on CBS. Now we got a Fox. Okay, now during halftime, we got Paul Heyman getting us hyped up for today after the game. We're going to see, as we knew on Friday Night SmackDown this past Friday night, as they announced after football today on Fox, we're going to see some of the best moments of 2020 in the WWE. This will be on Fox after NFL coverage this afternoon. So the WWE on Fox with SmackDown, WWE on USA with Raw and NXT. Pay-per-views, of course, on the network. Live reactions play of college football, the NFL, and professional wrestling live right here on YouTube. So be sure to tune in, like, follow, and subscribe. As always, links in the description below. So right now, we still have Sunday Night Football, Vikings, Seahawks. Monday night, tomorrow night, now only back to one game, the originally scheduled matchup in New Orleans with the Saints hosting the Chargers. That did not get moved to Indianapolis, staying put after Hurricane Delta came on through the other day. Tuesday, we have Buffalo in Tennessee, Bills, Titans. Second ever Tuesday NFL game in NFL history. The other, 10 years ago, Vikings, Eagles in Philly due to a blizzard. Thursday Night Football now will not be Thursday Night Football. That'll be next Monday, still on Fox. So we're getting NBC with Sunday Night Football, of course, and the Thursday night season opener, and then Thursday night on Thanksgiving. But with ESPN, along with ABC, ESPN, always hosting Monday Night Football for 50 years running now, we'll see in a few weeks span both CBS and Fox host Monday night games, because Chiefs-Bills no longer on Thursday, moved until next Monday, October the 19th at 4:30 in the afternoon on Fox. Live reactions play live right here on YouTube. Was planning already to have live reactions play of the originally scheduled Monday night game that night with the Cardinals and Cowboys. So schedule as of now for live reactions play-by-play, affecting a few different teams, of course, with some movement with the schedule, but effective immediately. Live reactions play-by-play tomorrow night with football and wrestling. Thursday night, there's no Thursday Night Football right now, but we'll see what the future holds. We'll see if they announce anything by any means. Next Sunday, Steelers-Browns at 1 o'clock. Now next Monday, was planning on doing Chiefs Bills this Thursday. That's moved now to next Monday, 4:30, October the 19th on Fox. A very, very early Monday Night Football kick, Monday afternoon, a week from tomorrow, as the Chiefs will be in Orchard Park taking on the Bills. Nobody circles wagons like the Buffalo Bills. And that should be a damn good game. Buffalo with two tough contests coming up the next 8 days or so, as they'll play on Tuesday and then now next Monday. So they'll have a little bit of a short week, somewhat of a short week, honestly. Playing on Tuesday, that's not normal. I mean, practice, yeah, but not playing a game. And then a Thursday night game now being pushed back over the weekend. And then, so yeah, originally Thursday night football, Chiefs Bills was going to have live reaction play of that. That's Monday now, so a doubleheader of Monday Night Football now next week. Trying to grasp all this and just think about what the future was already planned as. Now with breaking news and the shuffling, so live right here on the channel tomorrow night, football and wrestling live reactions. Be sure to tune in. No Thursday night football now, but we'll see if they add a game. Next Sunday, Steelers Browns, and then next Monday now, once again a double header, pending of course any other changes. At 4:30 on Fox, a week from tomorrow, October the 19th, the Chiefs will now be in Buffalo. So they'll get a little bit of an extra day off. They'll get some extra rest because they're playing today. Buffalo doesn't play until Tuesday. So that should be, a thing to keep an eye out for too. Probably won't play that big of a factor, but hey, you never know. Especially with just everything going on. So next Monday, Chiefs Bills, followed by Cardinals Cowboys and WWE Monday Night Raw before the Big Ten returns for college football, where I'll have Penn State, Indiana live reactions, play-by-play. Steelers, Titans then the next day, WWE, NXT Halloween Havoc along with AEW. This week, coming up as well, AEW anniversary, 1 year later. Congrats to All Elite Wrestling. But then on Halloween, Penn State, Ohio State, from right here in Happy Valley. So we'll get once again to some first half stats and scores from around the league. Trying to just, as mentioned, comprehend what I just found out, and trying to figure out moving forward, of course, what to do. So bear with me, but that's the plan as of now. But of course, plans always change. So we'll get through it, and we'll get the second half in the meantime kicked off as well with the Eagles and Steelers, with Pittsburgh leading by 3, 17-14. Game on Fox. Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma on the call. NFL on Fox. And as mentioned, we'll get first half stats and scores from this game and others momentarily. So stay tuned. Touchback on the kickoff. It'll be 1st and 10 Steelers. Now officially from the 25-yard line, left to right across your television screen, radio, and audio dial. Ben out of the gun, fakes a give, complete. Chase Claypool for 5 to the 30. 2nd down and 5.
Hey, Jonathan Kenny, along those lines, I did ask Mike Tomlin about the pressure that Ben Roethlisberger's been seeing. He says he's not overly concerned.
Shannon Spake on the field reporting. Another former ESPN colleague does NASCAR coverage as well for Fox, as the NASCAR playoffs are shaping up as well. Ben, incomplete far side on the back shoulder, 3rd down.
third down, look for the inside routes, in breaking routes of the receivers, and Ben Roethlisberger getting the ball out quickly.
Ben, 3rd and 5. It's caught. First down, Eric Ebron as he stumbles his way past the first down marker for a gain of 7. First down, Pittsburgh.
He's sitting right there at the tight end position, the 2-point stance, and when he goes out, see the block and the hesitation. It's just to create a little bit of space. You make the tackle. If LeBron makes a tackle right there, you're good, but he doesn't make the tackle, and that's great effort by Eric Ebron. Steadying this down, trying to get the momentum back to the Steelers, because Philly had all the momentum going into that. Even though they didn't score.
1st and 10, Pittsburgh. Ball at the 37-yard line. End around near side. And Ray McLeod off to the races, going to be brought down inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Pittsburgh. That arguably has to be his biggest play in his NFL career. Fletcher Cox down injured. Ben was under center, out of the eye. Fake the give to James Conner. Toss it to Ray McLeod on the end around near side. He's got a convoy downfield and almost finds his way into the end zone for a Steeler touchdown, but brought down around the 5-yard line. So 1st and goal, Pittsburgh. And Fletcher Cox, as mentioned, injured on the play. Seems to be his right leg. Ben comes over, gives his support. As Fletcher Cox actually brought down Roethlisberger on a sack earlier today. And they'll hit a commercial break before we return with a Pittsburgh 1st and goal. Up 3, 17-14 if you're just now tuning in. Early 2nd half.
You mean like the stands?
Come on, with 2 people, it'll be twice as fast. Don't just stand there.
We all have our own journey ahead of us, our own hopes and dreams. We'll pass many milestones, moments that define you and drive you to achieve even more. So celebrate every night, because success isn't just about where you want to get to. It's also about how you get there.
Well, things are different these days, but we're figuring it out. We're doing school online now, learning a lot. Finding cool stuff to watch. Dad brought some new workout buddies. And I still get to spend time with you.
This right here is the papadilla, which, if I'm not mistaken, is Latin for better than the sandwich. Even has a better pickle. Papadillas for just $6. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
Why do I show up day in and day out? Because I am a football player. Won't you? Pepsi, made for football. Watch it.
So back from the injury timeout. Previous play was a very big game for the Steeler offense. Ray McLeod on the end around, now 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Ben out of the gun, pump fake, slant over the middle, incomplete in time for Chase Claypool. 2nd and goal, and in the meantime, as mentioned, Fletcher Cox went down with an injury on that last play. He seems to be all right. He's over on the sideline. Seems to be just standing there waiting to get back now into the ball game. But 2nd and goal for the Pittsburgh Steelers, up 3, 17-14. empty with 4 stacked receivers at the top of your screen. A bubble complete to Chase Claypool, and he gets in the end zone once again for his 3rd touchdown of the afternoon. 2nd receiving, 1 rushing. Steelers extend the lead to 23-14, pending the Boswell extra point. And Chase Claypool making a name for himself as well here this afternoon once again, as we've seen Fulgham on Philadelphia doing the same. And so Connor, McDonald, and if I'm not mistaken, were in that stack before Claypool Ray McLeod got things going. Very big end around. And then 2 plays later, as they went to Claypool on both plays from goal to go from the 5, and gets in the end zone a play later for the 3rd time this afternoon. So if you have Chase Claypool in fantasy football, you're probably sitting pretty right now. And coming up, next commercial break, we will in fact finally get some now 2.5 quarters worth of stats and scores from this ball game, along with the rest of the NFL. So 24-14. Wentz playing well today, honestly. He played well last week, too, after a slow start. Is he still the man in Philly, though? That's still yet to be seen. He's been able to win, but he wasn't the one that won in the Super Bowl. It was Nick Foles, who's no longer there. But Wentz is still good. He's one of the top quarterbacks in the league, don't get me wrong. But the start of the season, not in his favor by any means, up until the past week or so. And ball actually going to be batted down to the line of scrimmage, incomplete. 3rd quarters for him, as they show the graphic there. Not going his way by any means as well. A few interceptions with no touchdowns in the 3rd quarter. And then it's either a little too late or they're making a play at the end of the ball game, as they did last week, extending the lead, as it was a low-scoring, close ball game at halftime last Sunday night against the Niners before they sort of drove away with the win, but they almost blew it, as mentioned earlier as well. And in the meantime, Wentz intercepted. That's Steven Nelson, good old number 22, with the INT. They go to celebrate in the end zone. And the first turnover of the ball game as we see a replay here. Wentz out of the gun. He was going to Ertz over the middle the whole time, and Nelson read him. And read it right, of course. Picked him off. No gain on the return. He fell down and was touched. So it'll be Steeler football up 10. Very, very good field possession. And they'll have 1st and 10 here coming out of the INT. So the first turnover belongs to Carson Wentz in favor of the Steeler defense. 1st and 10, up 10, 24-14. Ball officially now at the 23-yard line. Left to right, Rush television screen, radio, and audio dial. Ben out of the gun. If I'm Pittsburgh, I would run the ball. Work the clock. Don't play pass complete to Juju Smith-Schuster. Ball comes out. They say he's down, so 2nd down and 6. Don't play as conservative as you probably should, of course, later on in the ball game because it's still early in the 3rd quarter here. But, work some time off the clock here. extend the lead. I mean, if you kick a field goal, you're up 2 scores. You score a touchdown, you're up 2.5. So we'll see what they do here. Inside the red zone now from the 19. Ben going to hand off. James Conner, first down inside the 15 to the 11. It'll be 1st and 10, right on the outside of that 1st and goal range. So they'll have about 8 plays to punch it in, and if not, you know, the drive, especially coming off an interception, you have a good field position from the 23-yard line. If they don't score a touchdown here and settle for a field goal, as Fletcher Cox is now back in the ball game, so just got dinged up there a little bit ago. If they don't score a touchdown here, it's not. And there's Alejandro Villanueva motioning once again to the left tackle position. I don't get why they're running him, as the Steelers once again call their first timeout here in the second half. They were the first to do so in the first half, so they'll have 2 remaining the remainder of the way. Villanueva, that's the second time today he's motioned after lining up on the right side to back the left tackle where he plays at. But if they don't score a touchdown here, it won't be a successful drive. It'll. I mean, I get points or points. You know, you settle for field goal if you have to, if you can't punch it in. But when you're in a position like this, you need a touchdown. Especially when in the first half we saw Pittsburgh score first, and then Philly a few plays later, a very, very quick drive. Miles Sanders from 75 out for 6. So something's got to give, of course, because Pittsburgh had a long drive. Philly answers quick, get an interception, drive and score. Philly might answer again real quick, even though they just threw an interception, and we'll still have ourselves a ball game. Why the hell's Villanueva motioning to left tackle? Just to throw the defense off? I'd say so. That's pass interference. Thank you. Pass intended for James Washington. And that's now 3 pass interferences on the Eagle secondary this afternoon. As that's a clear-cut one. The first one, even though I said at first, yeah, give me pass interference, looking back on it, no, it wasn't. The second one was as well a pass interference from start to finish. This time, 100% sure, yes. That's a fact. He pushed him down on the ground, and the ref a little late getting the flag out of his pocket, but he threw it in the end zone. Foul occurred in the end zone, so it should be 1st and goal. Ball spotted at the 1-yard line. And yes, it is 1st and goal. Steeler football at the 1-yard line. James Conner going to be stuffed, no gain, 2nd down.
So it's interesting that the Steelers, they like to pound it, and it keeps the linebacker.
Pound the rock. Run the ball, run the clock, play good defense, open up the play action when you have to. I mean, Ben's been airing it out a lot in a good way so far this year, coming off a season-ending injury last year, looking as good as ever, honestly. Ben going to hand off again, and James Conner dances his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. And now for the 24th consecutive game, the Steelers have at least scored 30 points or more. Which, and I only say that because they just showed the graphic for that. But that can't be true, because they, unless I missed something that's key adding into that, as well as onto the extra point, because, and that extra point's up and good, so now 31-14. Steelers extend their lead here, 10 minutes to play in the third after a interception from Carson Wentz, capitalizing off the turnover now only 25 minutes away from going to 4-0 for the first time since 1979. That stat can't be right. 30 points per game for 24 now consecutive games in a row, because week 1 they scored 26. Week 2 they also scored 26 before defeating the Texans 2 weeks back 28-21. So like I said earlier, they're averaging about 26, 27, 28 points a game. Now scoring 31 because they actually played better from start to finish. You got to be consistent all game long, but in the first half there, they really didn't have any miscues, surprisingly, as they did in the first 3 games, of course. But we still had a tie ball game and then a 3-point lead at halftime. And then Pittsburgh on their opening drive, they score. Philly gets the ball back. Interception. A few plays later, Pittsburgh in the end zone once again. So 31-14 Steelers on top of the Eagles. First half stats, now about 2.5 quarters worth of stats and scores from around the NFL. Start off, of course, first with the Eagles and Steelers. Carson Wentz of the Philadelphia Eagles, now with that interception, is 9 of 18 for 124 yards and the 1 INT. Miles Sanders, yes, he does have 2 touchdowns, 1 from 70 plus, but he only has 7 carries for 77 yards. Fulgham leads the way receiving for Philadelphia, 5 catches, 67 yards. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, 1 catch for 37 yards. Johnny Hightower, 1 for 9. Ertz, 1 catch for 6 yards. Greg Ward, 1 for 5. As mentioned, Philly without Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey once again today, as they're out with injuries. Ben Roethlisberger now, with 10.5 to play in the third quarter, is 19 of 24 for 144 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Ray McLeod on that end around rushing has 1 carry, of course, for 58 yards. James Conner leads the way, 12 carries, 45 yards, and a score. So starting out slow once again, but as the game progresses, is inching his way closer once again to another 100-yard rushing game. And inside the WWE Thunderdome, we'll have Raw, SmackDown, and WWE pay-per-views. The league is meeting today to figure out, of course, scheduling conflicts around the NFL. So we'll see how the conflicts are going to be executed and how everything will shake out. When we'll have games now rather than now, because we won't, of course, because they're being postponed. And Wentz in the meantime going to go down on the sack once again back at the 15-yard line. Bud Dupree, Mike Hilton, Cam Hayward on the stop. 2nd and a mile for the Eagle offense. Anthony McFarland has 3 carries for 6 yards. Benny Snell also has about a yard or so on a carry. Chase Claypool leads the way for Pittsburgh receiving with 5 catches for 64 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also has that rushing touchdown as well in the end around on a goal to go inside the 5 in the first half. Miles Sanders on the run once again. He's battled some injuries so far this year, but playing well ever since. He gets a few yards on that carry. Still 3rd and long after the sack, 3rd and 12 officially, as we're under 10 now to play in the third quarter. So we'll add a few more yards on to Miles Sanders, 7 carries for 77 yards. We'll say 8 for almost 85. Eric Ebron also has 4 catches for 31 yards. James Conner, 2 of 17. James Washington, 2 for 17 as well. Ray McLeod, 2 catches, 10 yards. Vance Ronald McDonald 1 for 10. Wentz over the middle, complete, and Fulgham once again. Out past midfield, 1st and 10. First and 10, Eagles from around midfield. Wentz out of the gun. He's going to keep it on the quarterback keeper. Picks up a few yards. So it'll be 2nd down after that big pass completion from Wentz to Fulgham, who's the go-to number 1 target right now for the Philadelphia Eagles. As Chase Claypool is for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but Pittsburgh's been able to dish it out to everyone on offense. Wentz incomplete. 3rd time's a charm. Sorry for any technical difficulties. Here we go. All right, we're good. Due to some technical difficulties, the stream was disconnected and had to, of course, reconnect there in the past few minutes or so. Not a whole lot has happened in the meantime. If you're just now tuning in or tuning back in, sorry once again for technical difficulties here on YouTube this afternoon. 2nd and goal for the Eagles at the 8. Wentz, complete, caught, touchdown, Eagles. Greg Ward Jr. for complete pass from Carson Wentz. Yet we had a pass interference on the Steeler defense that extended this drive for the Eagles before a few plays later, Wentz finding Greg Ward for 6, and now the Eagles are going to go for 2. Once again, sorry for any technical difficulties. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. That thumbs up button. Share as well. Hashtag NFL. Chat questions and comments. Super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated. From the 2, 4-2. Eagles going for a 2-point attempt. And Wentz complete. Hightower, make it 31-22. We got ourselves a 9-point ball game. 31-22. Steelers on happened with the technical difficulties, the buffer, the disconnect, the reconnect, the overheating as usual. So we had a pass interference. A few plays later, Eagles score a touchdown and cut the lead to 9, so 31-22 is where we stand. And in the meantime, I'm going to make sure this is good to go. There we go, we should be all right. But nonetheless, it's technology. It happens. It's good, but then it also sucks when it needs to be good, when it should be working perfectly fine. So, technical difficulties, please stand by as always, and we'll, at least we should be good to go moving forward. So, commercial break, and with the Eagles touchdown and then the 2-point attempt, cutting it to 9, it's now 31-20.
Help protect your community. Tap to pay with Visa. Because where you shop matters.
Cardinals lead by 14, 17-3. Actually, the Jets in the meantime, once again, sorry for any new or any more technical difficulties. The Jets just scored, so now 17-9. Cardinals. Rams 23-10 over the Washington football team. The Redskins 17-10 now. Extra point up and good for the Jets. So 31-22 Steelers on top of the Eagles. 20-13 Carolina on top of 10 on top of the Jets. Rams 23-10 against the Washington football team. The Redskins still 17-0 Baltimore over Cincinnati. Houston 20-7 on top of the Jaguars. Early fourth quarter there. as well. So we got a few games early fourth quarter already. Some games only about midway through the third, some nearing the end of the third. But then still to come, 4 o'clock kicks. Dolphins Sunday night football will in fact be Vikings Seahawks. Monday night, now just back to the originally scheduled single Monday night game with Chargers and Saints. Bills Titans will be on Tuesday. We now don't have a Thursday night game next week, just a few days away from now, as Chiefs Bills got moved to next Monday at 4:30 on Fox, if you did not know. Next Sunday as well, Broncos Patriots from today, that was postponed until tomorrow, will now be played next Sunday in week 6, a part of week 5. So I get everything's all screwed up, but it is what it is. It's 2020, so if you've been living underneath a rock the past 7 months, welcome back, and welcome to Live Reactions Play-by-Play, live right here on YouTube. Steelers with a 2nd and 9 now, up 9, 31-22 here, midway through the third. Ball at the 19-yard line, and he gets Philly to jump off sides. He's got a free play, but they blow it dead. So it'll be 2nd and 4 for the black and gold offense.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 58, 5-yard penalty. It's 2nd down. Lance Johnson Lane Johnson getting carted off to the locker room. Eagles right tackle, who has had ankle issues this year. They were trying to get some consistency among offensive line. It was the first time that the same offensive line started back-to-back games. That's a tough blow for the Eagles.
Pittsburgh after the offside penalty. No gain on the play. Benny Snell with his 2nd or 3rd carry of the afternoon. So now 3rd down. He's going to come out. He's up and down. Find a true number 1 that can stay consistent. I mean, James Conner is probably the best out of the bunch, but still at points he's not that good either. So 3rd and 4 for Pittsburgh. Claypool in motion, trips near side, slant complete, and that's James Washington, 1st down Steelers. Okay, so we're good. We're good. Sorry for any technical difficulties. Once again, I know I might have, once it came back, might have started up about a second or two too early. Here we are, 31-22. Pittsburgh's only punted once. And that was early in the first quarter. Don't want to jinx them by any means, but Conner on the carry, no gain, 2nd down. Just want to make sure everything's good to go. Hopefully you folks, audience, can hear me loud and clear. Can see me, and along with hopefully no glitches or technical difficulties by any means. Claypool on the reception near sideline, and Chase Claypool just having himself a day for Pittsburgh by far. Big 1st down pickup. And that's a catch. That is a catch. Philly with a challenge, maybe? Yes, Doug Peterson going to challenge a previous play on the field. Previous completed catch. It's a catch on the field, so they have to find undisputable video evidence to overturn it. But during commercial break, as we hit another commercial break, they're going to take a look at it, and we'll have our answer here shortly. Looks to be a catch. They called it a catch on the field, so it'll be a little hard to overturn it, as he still caught it, maintained and controlled possession as he went down to the ground and out of bounds. So should stand. It should be 1st and 10 Steelers when we return, up 9, 31-22. Don't get why we're now experiencing a bunch of technical difficulties here in the second half. Maybe WWE Retribution playing some mind games, but yeah, right now with the buffer, the disconnect, the reconnect, the overheating, once again for the I believe now only second time, maybe third time ever. Don't honestly really keep track of those type of things, but like I've stated before, it's technology. It's gonna, of course, every once in a while act up and go in and out. So it is what it is. I just gotta let it do its thing and reconnect it when it allows me to. So it is what it is. I don't like it as much as any of you do. So yeah, it is what it is. There's not really much else I can do about it. If it does it, it does it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And as of late, it's been good. But now, I mean, I get it did it a few times in the first half, and then here early in the second half, it's doing it more than normal. It's doing it a bunch once again. So, wow, they won that challenge. That call was reversed. That was incomplete. Are you kidding me? He caught it. Okay, right foot down. Right foot down. His left toe dragged. That's a catch. Yeah, but his left toe dragged with his left foot on top of the leg of the defender, but his toe touched the ground. That's a catch. And now we got a false start, so now nothing going Pittsburgh's way. Eric Ebron, the culprit there. So we had a big first down pickup, a challenge flag thrown. Call gets reversed. Now a false start. We're going to back Pittsburgh up a few more yards. Austin 3rd and 16 here as we near the end of the third quarter. 31-22 Pittsburgh on top of Philly. That was a bullshit call. That was a catch, but they did challenge and they looked at it and they overturned it. So there's nothing you can, do about it with that there, but he still got both feet in, and now they're pushing and shoving back and forth, starting to get chippy once again. And of course, Pittsburgh a little upset because that call didn't go their way, and then they shoot themselves in the foot and get that false start before Philly forcing them to a punt here. So I did jinx a punt for only the second time today. And ball going to be fielded at the 20-yard line and then brought down right away on the tackle. So 1st and 10 Eagles from around the 20-yard line. 120 teams in the NFL. Green Bay, Seattle, Buffalo, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, and Tennessee. Kansas City and Pittsburgh are playing right now, not against one another, though. And both are in very close games, so at least two of those teams we'll see how the games play out. Carson Wentz complete for 4, and that's Greg Ward Jr. on the reception. Another update, Cardinals and Jets. 24-10 now, Arizona. Kenyon Drake, the former Dolphin, came over this time last year via trade. Arizona extending their lead to 2 touchdowns once again. 24. We both still be winless at 0-5 apiece, with the Giants still yet to play against the Cowboys later on. Kurtz, ball falls incomplete, 3rd down and about 8.
running back, and the time he has right there, both of them, man, great route, man. He breaks it off.
That's Fulgham out of Old Dominion, bouncing around the league, having himself a day, now over 100 yards receiving on 7 catches. Out of the pistol, Wentz going to fake the give, pressured, and then able to throw downfield to Travis Fulgham for another reception. First down, Eagles. And if you have him in fantasy football this week as well, you're probably also sitting. You better be putting in a waiver claim for.
Like what? Get a medium to large drink from Taco Bell, and you too can enter for a chance to win the all-new Xbox Series X. Spooky Bets. Dodgers. CFC. Tomorrow on Fox.
A woman who was young had COVID-19. I remember her because she had a bracelet that had the names of her children. She asked me, "Doctor, am I going to be okay?" And I could not give her the answer that I wanted to give her. There's no excuse for why we don't have this under control at this point. Joe Biden listens to medical experts. He actually has a plan that does the things that we should have been doing many months ago. And Joe Biden is not going to let his ego get in the way of fighting the disease.
FFPAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
If you need self-storage, don't settle for old-fashioned self-storage when you can have self-storage that comes to you. It's fast and easy. No truck to rent. No gas or truck insurance to buy. No loading and unloading at a self-storage facility. Load directly from your house or garage, and you never have to load again. So fast, so easy, even your husband can do it. Call us today and have an easy pack delivered tomorrow.
Falling leaves means falling prices. No one stocks more, no one sells for less.
Okay, we're back live. Sorry once again for any technical difficulties with the buffer disconnect, reconnect, and overheating. In the meantime, we're back in the beginning of the fourth quarter with the Eagles and Steelers. Jalen Hurts in the ball game for the first time here today. Was in at quarterback for Carson Wentz before hitting the former Packer and Richard Rodgers for a big first down. Wentz back in the ball game now at quarterback, as they just used him for a trick play, catching the Steeler defense off guard. In the meantime, well, now we're going to have a penalty. It'll be a false start. Wentz finding Travis Fulgham once again for more yardage, as Wentz is nearing 300 yards passing. Fulgham nearing 150 yards receiving. Arguably his best game ever in his entire football career at any level. But Philly now early in the fourth quarter have the false start, first and goal now at the 15 for the Eagles. First and goal at the 15, Wentz out of the gun, left to right. Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, both Pennsylvania NFL teams squaring off. Greg Ward. Second and goal, Miles Sanders on the carry, no gain on the play. So now third and goal. Third and goal for the Eagles. It's a 31-22 ball game. A 9-point lead for the black and gold over the visiting, all road white Philadelphia Eagles. And now we got a Steeler injury on the sideline. I don't know who that is. And Wentz over the middle, caught, touchdown. Travis Fulgham finally finds pay dirt. Has about 10 catches for 500 yards and now a touchdown in today's ball game. And that's actually T.J. Watt injured on the Steeler sideline. That's not a good sign. So touchdown, Philly. They cut it to 3. Do they kick the extra point or go for 2 again? I'd kick the extra point, because then if you're in a situation where you could kick a field goal to either tie it or win it, you would be able to win it in that situation, only down 2 because they kick the extra point now. That's up and good.
Smart. Then reimagine the Bronco as an off-roading, high-performance wildland. This is the future we're building, and we're building it today.
Pittsburgh going to get the ball back, up 2 after the Philly touchdown, 31-29. 11.5 to play, as mentioned. They still need to find and establish the run game if they want to win this ball game today. They need to do a better job than what they already have done, even though they've already played a damn good game. They've only punted twice. All the other drives ended in points. So run the ball, run the clock. Juju Smith-Schuster having a very, very quiet game. Keep an eye out for him. But even with Chase Claypool having a career day as well, alongside Travis Fulgham of the Philadelphia Eagle offense, with about 10 catches for 150 yards now and a touchdown. So congrats to him. Kudos. Playing damn good football the past 2 weeks. Philly gaining some momentum now here midway through October. And honestly, if the NFC East is going to be trash the rest of the year as it is right now, and Philly plays some decent football, it's still going to come down to them and probably Dallas. But if the Skins, the Washington football team, make some noise, I would think right now Philly's going to find a way to win that division. Even though I picked, I believe, Dallas to win that division, and not having any of the other teams make it. Pittsburgh, they're going to get the ball back here. They're up 2. They need to run the ball, establish running game, open play action. Like I said, Juju's had a quiet day, about a catch or 2. Ray McCloud back deep to receive. Run the clock out, of course, too, as far as you can. Kicker return out past the 20 to the 24. 1st and 10 Steelers from there. But as mentioned, keep an eye out for Juju. They might be double teaming Chase Claypool, though, because he's had a hell of a day. Surprised they're not already. Watch out for Deontay Johnson and James Washington, along with Ray McCloud maybe, as well. In the receiving game, he's been effective in the running game on a reversal, of course, before a touchdown. Connor, Snell, McFarland, whoever it's going to be, hopefully run the ball and don't fumble. But also Ebron and McDonald. Go to your tight ends. Don't do anything stupid. Don't turn it over or have any stupid penalties by any means. So we'll see what happens here. Ray McCloud now on the end around. He picks up about 5 yards, so now 2nd down and 5 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Up 2 as Philadelphia has cut it. 31-29 Pittsburgh. 10:52 to play. And out of the gun, ball at the 29, complete, the 40. Juju gets to the 43, 1st down Pittsburgh. Number 65 once again for the Steelers is eligible, so they bring more big boys in to block. Connor in the backfield. James Conner going to get the carry, no gain for him, actually loses about a yard or so. 2nd down and long.
Any big plays on easy run designs like that with James Conner,
again, that's why you've seen so many fly sweeps and all these trick run plays for the Steelers offense. That right there is like a wasted down for the Steelers offense. You're not going to get anything with that. 4-7. Hey, screen drop. Under 10 minutes remaining.
From the 42, 2nd and 11, under 10 to play. It's a 2-point lead for Pittsburgh. Screen complete to Connor near side. He spins and then gets about 2 yards on that gain, 3rd down.
And I heard one of the, I don't know if the viewers could hear it, but I heard one of the players, it might have been named Gary, call out right before the play, watch the screen and draw. 2nd and long, that's usually when the Steelers like to run their screen plays, draw plays. They snipped that one out real easily. Now you're looking at 3rd and long. 3rd and long has been front floor, get a ton of pressure, and then play some good man covers behind it. Give the front four just an extra second. That's all they need to get pressure on Ben Roethlisberger.
3rd and 9, and Roethlisberger gets Philly to jump off sides again. He's going to air it out. Nobody there. So free play doesn't work, but they're going to get a 5-yard, another offside for the Eagle defense. So it'll be 3rd and 4 now for the Steeler offense following the penalty. That's 3 pass interference and 3 offsides for the Eagle defense now today.
Offside. Defense number 91. 5-yard penalty. That's Fletcher Cox. So this will cost the Eagles 5 yards. They get it to either Fletcher Cox right there, trying to get a beat.
Ben with his hard count, doing his best Aaron Rodgers impression, and once again gets Philly to jump off sides. See if they take a deep shot here, continue to run the football, run the ball. Well, it is 3rd down 4 though. Maybe another screen or slant over the middle. Slant over the middle, caught at the 40-yard line, 1st down. Pittsburgh, Chase Claypool once again with another reception. Pittsburgh moving the sticks. Roethlisberger checking in with one of his offensive linemen who went down, but he's all good. That's Matt Flyer. 1st down Steelers.
2 guys that we haven't heard much about having tremendous games, man. They're playing really, really good football. 8:15 remaining. Steelers on the move.
Run the ball. Run the goddamn ball. Man in motion. James Conner on the carry. And we got a flag in the backfield. This will be a hold. It'll be coming back. But just continue to run the clock, because it's going to continue to wind after the penalty here. It'll be 2nd and long. Or replay 1st down, excuse me. So 1st and 20 once again. Nope. Holding penalties all year long, now 2 today. See if it was a good call or not.
There's Dotson right there, middle of the screen. Connor trying to get
yeah.
That's easy holding. Holding right there. Darius Slay is down. He's out for this play, so look for Ben.
From midfield. 1st and long. Ben gonna hand off. Tony McFarland, he gets to the 42. And we're going to get an update. Raiders and Chiefs. Josh Jacobs with a touchdown run. And the Raiders up 6, 30-24 on the road, missing the extra point. We've seen a lot of missed kicks. And a lot of injuries. And a lot of missed or even bad, some good, but some bad officiating calls as well. But the Raiders lead by 6, 30-24 on the road against the Chiefs today. Ben, back shoulder complete. Chase Claypool down the far sideline. Got a flag on the play as well. He walks into the end zone, though. He might have stepped out. See what the penalty is, but right now it's a touchdown.
And the Eagles indicating that the penalty will go against the Steelers. Yeah, no doubt. Ben Roethlisberger.
Pass interference on Chase Claypool. 10 yards. They'll replay 2nd down. So no touchdown. Good back shoulder. See if he did push off. A little, not a whole lot. And then he would have stepped out of bounds, it looked like, anyway, so it wouldn't have been a touchdown. But like I just said, don't be shooting yourselves in the foot now. Don't be either turning the ball over or having stupid penalties. And, well, here we are with the latter of that so far. They have a 2nd and 22 back at the 48-yard line now. And for some reason, Fox does not have the scoreboard up on the screen, so I do not know how much time is in fact left in this ball game. I know Pittsburgh has 2 timeouts left, Philly with 3 because they won their challenge, and the Steelers lead by 2, 31-29. That honestly wasn't a big push off, but the rest. Now for the 3rd time today, sorry once again for any more technical difficulties. But from YouTube, if you're listening, watching, please help me out. Let me know why all these technical difficulties are in fact happening. Seems like all the time anymore. But nonetheless, in the meantime, as mentioned, Pittsburgh up to 31-29 here in the 4th quarter. Fox having some issues with their scoreboard on the screen as well. However, don't shoot yourselves in the foot if you're the Steelers. No stupid penalties, no turnovers. Well, in that last drive, we had how many penalties not go Pittsburgh's way? And rightfully so, Philadelphia honestly didn't do anything wrong. It was Philadelphia, or Pittsburgh, excuse me. Once again, false starts, holds, pass interferences, whatever they were. I honestly don't remember, nor really care right now either, because I also said don't turn the ball over. Well, in the meantime, with the technical difficulties, Roethlisberger on 3rd and long, following the pass interference. Pass was complete to Eric Ebron. Fumble, they rolled it a fumble on the field. They looked at it during the last commercial break. Stands as called on the field. It was a catch and a fumble. Philadelphia recovered. So Eagle football, 1st and 10 from the 45. Down 2 with now 6:16 to play. It's 31-29 Steelers. 6:16 now counting to play here this afternoon. Eagles still have all 3 timeouts. Steelers with 2. Now, a few more injuries as some Eagles are being carted off into the locker room. But Philadelphia in a spot where they are in shop with or a touchdown. 3rd and 1 though right now. Pittsburgh's probably going to get the ball back at least once, hopefully maybe twice. We'll see, depending on how this shakes out. But if I'm Philly, I run the ball, run the clock out, not give Pittsburgh as much time, and win this ball game on the road and go back home with your 2nd consecutive win on the year. Quarterback sneak. Wentz picks up the 1st down. They had Jalen Hurts in the ball game, sent him in motion, and Wentz up the middle on the sneak. 1st down Eagles. So now 5.5 to play. From the 44, 1st and 10. From the pistol, Wentz, once again, pump fakes, looking to throw, being pressured, brought down on the sack. Back at the 47, that's Stephon Tuitt. As TJ Watt now comes back into the ball game, following an injury scare.
ran a double move to that side. You see the pump and double move. And then Stephon Tuitt literally just saved the touchdown. When we talked about
So now second down.
that was a huge play. I know the fans are
Second long.
but man, he just saved himself. Saved that
Steelers
Steelers defense.
defense needs to hold. Wentz with a quick bubble screen complete. And Miles Sanders gets to the 38. So now they're right on the outside of field goal range. They don't even need to pick up a first down here. But they would like a first down. They would like to continue this drive, and they would like a touchdown and not give Pittsburgh any time. I can guarantee you that. Third down and 5. Another empty set, 5 wide from the 39. Wentz looking to throw. Slant over the middle, incomplete. Steeler defense going to hold for now. And we'll see what Philly does with 3:23 to play. They still have all 3 timeouts. They're right on the outside of field goal range. You attempt a very, very long field goal from about almost 57, 58 yards in Pittsburgh at Heinz Field with Jake Elliott. This will officially be from 57. They're going to attempt the field goal for the lead. Kicks up, and kick's going to be no good. Wide right. So Pittsburgh going to get the ball back with some good field position now. 3 minutes and 23 seconds. He had the distance, but it hooked right at the last second. So 31-29 is still our score. Steelers getting the ball back. If I'm Pittsburgh, I run the ball, I run the ball, I run the ball. Make Philadelphia call their 3 timeouts. If you give them the ball back, of course you're going to want to throw a play action pass in there, of course, too. But if you give them the ball back, still 31-29, under the 2-minute warning, under 2 minutes to play, with no timeouts, you punt, you pin them deep, you make them drive, they beat you that way, they beat you. So be it. But at least you didn't give them a chip shot field goal for the win after a turnover or a sack or whatever the case may be. But just keep running the ball. Hopefully you pick up a first down or 2. Keep this drive going. And, I mean, hell, if you can even score, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown as well, with little to no time left too, okay, that's fine. But, and that's why I've said you got to establish run game, because now, as they did a couple weeks back, when they had to, they were able to run the football. We're going to see if they can do the same thing once again now. Because if they can run the football when needed, when they have to late in the ball game in order to win, going to 4-0, if they do win today for the first time since 1979, they should be fine, you know, all season long, honestly. If they can play with a few miscues, you know, here and there throughout the game. But play just solid, fundamentally sound football from start to finish. You know, and a very, very good division right now, the AFC North, with Pittsburgh, of course, in the lead. Baltimore, with that loss to Kansas City, they're going to beat the Bengals. So they'll go to 4-1. That's why Pittsburgh needs the win to go to 4-0 to stay in the lead. And then the Browns, who Pittsburgh plays next week at home, they play the Colts coming up here very shortly. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that game too. But Pittsburgh going to get the ball back. Up 2, it's 31-29, first and 10 Steelers with officially 3:18 to play. Run the ball. From the 47, you run the football. Thank you. Handoff James Conner, 2 yards for him. Second down, we'll see if Philadelphia starts calling their timeouts or not, if they're going to run the clock. We got a flag, so they don't even have to call a timeout. The clock's going to stop automatically. Don't tell me this is a hold. What's the penalty? Personal foul, face mask on the Eagle defense. 15 yards, automatic first down. Have to see a replay of that. I didn't see any face mask by any means.
We welcome those of you who have just joined us here in Pittsburgh. Kenny Albert, Jonathan Gilbert, Shannon Speak.
And now Eagles Steelers is bonus coverage for some other viewers with their game wrapping up. Don't know if exactly what game that was by any means, but we'll take a look around the league for some final scores now. Empty set 5 wide. Why are you going to throw the football? Run the ball. Try to draw them off sides here. Run the damn ball. Ben looking to throw. Slant over the middle, complete. And Ray down to the 35. It'll be second down. And it seems like Philadelphia is going to let the clock go for a little bit here. And Pittsburgh has never lost a game at home when leading by at least 17 or more points. They led 31-14 early here in the second half, yes. And they're trying to get to 4-0 for the first time since '79 when they won their 4th Super Bowl in 6 years. Philadelphia does, in fact, call their first time out here. So that challenge did go their way. If it didn't, they'd only have 2 timeouts right now, and then they call one of those, they'd have 1 timeout. Okay, Rams Skins. That just went final. Yeah, Jake Elliott, he had enough leg on that 57-yarder. However, it hooked wide right at the last second. It was no good. Unless Philly would be up a point, 32-31 right now. Another empty set 5 wide. Why the hell are you throwing the football? Run the damn ball. And that's exactly what happens because Eric Ebron once again catches it and fumbles it. And now Philly with 2 timeouts and 3 minutes to play, they're going to get the ball back down 2. What the hell are you doing? Why are you throwing the football? Was that even a catch by any means? Oh, it's an interception. That ball hit the ground. That ball hit the ground. That's not an interception. That's incomplete. Then they're going to review it. Okay, so Pittsburgh's probably going to luck out here, hopefully, once again by Ebron. But there's no way in hell he caught that. It was thrown, and then he got hit, and it hit the ground. That is incomplete. That is incomplete. It's going to be 2nd or 3rd down for Pittsburgh. It's going to be incomplete because he never caught it. He never maintained or controlled possession. No, that's incomplete. But they'll probably say it's a catch and a fumble again. That ball clearly hit the ground. These refs in football this week, and I noticed I don't know how many times yesterday in college football, they're making... That's incomplete. There's no way in hell he caught that. They're making some of the most absurd calls I've ever seen. Like, it's seriously like Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, and... Well, here's the call. It's incomplete. Okay, Pittsburgh going to keep the ball. 3rd down. Why are you throwing... Okay, we're live, back once again on YouTube. Honestly, don't know on the replay of this, and if you guys have any feedback, please let me know. Experiencing major technical difficulties now. I just had something happen that I've never experienced before, with the stream completely going out on my end. And in the meantime, I paused the game. So I honestly don't know what just happened, because it did what it's done with buffering, disconnecting, and reconnecting because of overheating. And then it completely went out. And for some reason, I couldn't get the stream back up and running. And now it seems like we're good to go. Okay? It seems like we're good. However, I don't know how this, as mentioned, is going to look when it's all said and done. There might be a few glitches. There might not be. I honestly don't know. We'll find out one way or another when it's all said and done. But I was able to somehow save the stream. I don't know how, because it completely went out. I was gonna just completely end it because I couldn't get it back up and running. It's been probably almost 10 minutes now, honestly. If you are watching this, in fact, live or on a replay later on, whenever the time may be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. But nonetheless, it then asked me, I found a way somehow, I don't know. And of course, you might hear a few words that don't go with the stream, but because I was mad and a little upset, yeah, those were said, of course. But hey, it's life. Everybody says them eventually. Regardless of the situation, I was able to, as mentioned, somehow save it, continue the stream, but it just kept loading and loading and loading, and it wouldn't do anything until I noticed it was saying that I had to, for some reason, and YouTube, if you're listening or watching, knock it off with all the stupid little things that we have to do what we got to do. Plain and simple. I had to rotate my device to get it back up and running, which, okay, I'm happy with. But at the same time, I'm not, because I don't like these technical difficulties. I don't understand why it has to do it all the frickin' time. But it is what it is. So, set the stage. Steelers lead 31-29. We got 3 minutes and 4 seconds left. But I got the stream back up and running, and that's really, honestly, all that matters right now. Because here before too long, it's going to end officially, because the game's going to be done and over with. But I was a few seconds away from ending it officially and then starting a new one. That would end up probably only being about a half hour, maybe, if that. Probably not even that long, but I don't know. Because obviously I didn't have to do that, because I figured out a way to keep this up and running, and just honestly trying to describe the most recent situation here to listeners and viewers. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. Honestly, don't know why it just did that, but it did do it. So that's that, and there's nothing I can do about it other than, thank you that I was able to continue it, and here we are. So I'll have to look into more of everything with what just happened, but like I've stated numerous times before, and even today, there's nothing really I can do about it, because it just does it on its own, because it's technology and it's technical difficulties, and there's no way or rhyme or reason that I can figure this out and get it all situated, because it just buffers and then disconnects and reconnects. And yeah, it could be due to connection, but when everything else is working perfectly normal, there's no reason why this should start acting up then too. So it is what it is, and I'll leave it at that. Honestly, I don't honestly really know what else to say, other than thank you once again for tuning in and watching. And sorry for any technical difficulties, but here we are, and we're now going to see the conclusion of today's Eagle-Steeler game. As mentioned, I have it paused, so that's why there's no noise in the background at this point in time. You might hear a fan running, or even a few fans running for that matter, but yeah. We're with 3 minutes and 4 seconds to play. Eagles, Steelers. I'm honestly a little upset. I'm a little mad. I am. Because there's no reason why it should be doing this. There is no reason whatsoever, especially when everything else is working perfectly fine. Yet, whenever I want to stream, boom, 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 here we go. Technical difficulty here, technical difficulty there, and blah, 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 blah. The rest is history. But it is what it is. Once again, there's, nothing I can do about it other than, saying, thanks, not honestly to myself, but to all you, of course, for tuning in and watching. But at least I found a way to continue it, because I've never had that happen with what just happened. As it buffered, it disconnected, I had to reconnect it, it went out completely, overheated, and then as it did for numerous times, now the fourth time today, and then it completely just went out, and then I had to rotate and cancel and try to get it back up and running, and then boom, it says we're live. So we're live, and I'm trying to get it angled right and set up right and all that fun and exciting stuff that has to be done to move ahead. So that's that. But been a good game so far. It honestly has. Pittsburgh was up 31 to 14. They've never lost, as mentioned, blowing a 17-plus point lead at home before. They never lost when leading by that much in franchise history. But they're up 2 right now, 31 to 29. We just saw, if I'm not mistaken, and I was flipping out because there was a pass from Roethlisberger to Eric Ebron once again. 2 drives in a row. The last one was a catch and a fumble. This one was very similar. However, they rolled it an interception on the field. Yet, the replay, the ball hit the ground. It was incomplete. There's no way in hell that they could have said that was intercepted when the ball hit the ground. But they could have said it was another completion along with another fumble from Eric Ebron. However, they did not. They reviewed it during that commercial break. We come back. It's a incomplete pass from Ben Roethlisberger to Eric Ebron. So now the Steelers have a 3rd down and 8 with 3 minutes and 4 seconds to play. Pittsburgh's up 2, 31 to 29 here in the 4th quarter. So here we go. And we're about, what time is it here on the East Coast? Where's my phone? There we go. We're about, I'd say, 15 or 18 minutes or so behind after all this nonsense. So, final stats and scores coming up momentarily, so stay tuned. As mentioned, I don't know how this is going to look on a replay for feedback. If you have any, let me know. If you know why this is doing this, please let me know as well. But yeah, we're about, I'd say, almost 20 minutes behind now. But the game's not going to last for that long, I don't think. 3 minutes and 4 seconds to play. 3rd down and 8 for the Steelers. It's 31 to 29 over the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Were just coming off the complete pass that they said was intercepted. However, it was incomplete after review. So here we go. 31-29 Steelers. 3rd and 8 from the 35. I have no clue what's going to happen. Ben looking to throw. Pass complete. Chase Claypool at the 10-yard line. He walks into the end zone for a touchdown. He's serious. Claypool with his 4th touchdown now of the afternoon. 3 receiving and 1 rushing as they celebrate with 2:58 to play. Ben and the Steelers up 37 to 29, pending the extra point from Chris Boswell. All right, your players of the game. Claypool with a few extra catches that resulted in touchdowns, of course, but Fulgham, as of now, I do believe, leading the way in receiving for yards. But we'll check in on final stats and scores coming up shortly. So stay tuned. And once again, sorry for any technical difficulties. I hate it, as mentioned earlier, as much as all you do. So here we are. It is what it is. Had a whistle on the extra point, so they're going to have to re-kick here. So yeah, it's almost 4:30 now on the East Coast. 2:59 to play. I'm on a little bit of a delay due to my technical difficulties with everything that just happened. So hopefully here before too long we'll wrap things up and we'll call it a day before more live reactions play tomorrow night. Because if this, what gets me, if this is doing this now, why doesn't it do it all the time? I mean, it does do it all the time, it seems like, but some other times it's, you know, a breeze. It's from start to finish, nothing goes wrong. It's like there's no reason that this should be doing this. None whatsoever. So YouTube, calling you out. Hopefully you guys can figure out a reason why this is doing this. End of story. And Ben, in the meantime, as they show a replay of the touchdown, finding Chase Claypool, his new favorite receiver this afternoon for his 4th touchdown of the afternoon.
Eagles had an opportunity to take the lead. They attempted a 57-yard field goal moments ago.
Yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about the field goal because I've been tied up with figuring all this out, of course, and hopefully everything looks good and normal. Try to make sure it was lined up correctly as I normally have it. There might, as mentioned, be a few glitches or two in the middle. I'll have to, of course, go back and watch the replay myself to see if, in fact, there is by any means. But, yeah, Philly was down by 2. They kicked a 57-yard field goal and missed. Pittsburgh got the ball back. Almost had another turnover there. But a few plays later, Roethlisberger finds Chase Claypool for a touchdown as the Steelers extend their lead 38-29 with 2:59 to play. I assume the game's over by now in real time, but as mentioned, I'm on a little bit of a tape delay due to pausing the game and figuring out on my end my technical difficulties. So if you're tuning in, thank you. And be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Carson Wentz going to go down on the sack. Bud Dupree. It'll be 2nd and a mile. Dupree and Stephon to it on the sack of Carson Wentz. He's gone down about 4 or 5 times, if not more, today. As Pittsburgh's defense has played extremely well so far this year. And honestly, Pittsburgh, that last drive when they should have ran the ball, they honestly really didn't a whole lot. Pass over the middle, incomplete right through the hands of Miles Sanders, 3rd down and 20. But they still ended up with a touchdown. Now a game break. I'm sure this game's over by now too. Raiders up 33-24. And now the Raiders are up 40-24 on the road against the defending Super Bowl 54 champion Kansas City Chiefs. And it looks like the Chiefs are going to go down and lose at home before now playing on the road next Monday night in a rescheduled Thursday night game from next week on the road against the Buffalo Bills. The Bills play this Tuesday against the Titans. 3rd and 20 from the 15. Wentz out of the gun. And he's going to dump it off, incomplete, intended for Zach Ertz. 4th down and 20, 2:20 to play. And if you are just now, in fact, tuning in, I had some technical difficulties recently. The stream, for some reason, ended, but I was able to save it, continue it, and in the meantime, pause the Eagles-Steeler game. Don't know the outcome as of yet. I'm sure this game is, in fact, over, though. Pittsburgh, in the meantime, 4th and 20 for the Eagles as the Steelers lead 38-29 with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to play. I was about 15 or so odd minutes behind with pausing and figuring out what, of course, I had to do with technical difficulties. Wentz going to be intercepted at the 25-yard line, and that should seal it. Philly's only going to be able to stop the clock 2 more times. Steven Nelson with another interception. Wentz with 2 on the day, both to Steven Nelson. And Pittsburgh's defense stepping up when needed. But like I was saying there, with Pittsburgh running the ball when they needed to, they really didn't late, but they still found a way to score, and that's really all that matters. So I'll leave it at that. And good to see T.J. Watt back in the ball game after an injury earlier. Stephon too, potentially a late hit, but Wentz got rid of it, and Steven Nelson came down with the ball for another interception. Pass was intended for Hightower, 82. Fulgham, though, 13, taking over for Aguilar with Philadelphia at the wide receiver position. Had a hell of a game so far. I had a doubt Philly's going to get the ball back here. But 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Now you're on the ball. Ben under center, handoff. That's, I believe, Tony McFarland, the rookie back out of Maryland. It's either him or Benny Snell. And that is, in fact, McFarland. We'll have final stats and scores coming up shortly, so stay tuned. Now we're at the 2-minute warning, so we'll fast forward just a tad bit. This is a good thing with DVR. You can pause and record stuff, and then even fast forward or rewind, as we all know. Okay, so we're back. It's 38-29 Steelers, 2 minutes to play. Steelers football, 2nd down. And thank you once again for tuning in and watching. Be sure to tune back in tomorrow. Obviously, yeah, I'm a little upset, mad with all the technical difficulties, but here we are, and we're still kicking, so that's all that matters. 38-29, Claypool in the ball game as the only receiver. And Snell going to get the carry. He gets about 8 yards. It'll be 3rd and 1. Philly not even calling their timeouts yet. They have 2 left. They'll call one now, it looks like. And then they'll call another one after 3rd down if they stop them. But if not, Pittsburgh can just take a few kneel downs and run out the clock and win today's ball game 38-29 over the Eagles. So Eagles timeout. So the Cardinals beat the Jets, it looks like. And it seems like this Eagle-Steeler game is bonus coverage for everybody else on Fox. We'll get, because I assume now that it's almost 4:45, the Giant Cowboy game on CBS is underway, along with the Colt Brown game, so we'll get those turned on as well before we close up shop here this afternoon. And once again, sorry for any technical difficulties, folks. Maybe not. So 3rd and 1 for the Steelers, as we're going try to reload on this end as well. And Roethlisberger in handoff. That's Snell. Picks up a first down. That should do it. That should do it. Philly can't stop the clock. They do have one timeout, but it's a 1st and 10 for the Steelers. And, okay. Why did it just do that? I don't know. Today's been one weird-ass day, I'll tell you that. I've had, and that's why we're going to try to wrap things up here very, very quickly. But I've had a few things happen streaming-wise on YouTube today and in general that I've never had happen before, so I'll have to look into those. Pittsburgh with the win as Roethlisberger takes a few kneel downs here. The Steelers are going to go to 4-0 for the first time since 1979. The last time the Steelers went 4-0, 1978 and 79, they won 2 of the 4 Super Bowls that they won in the 1970s. So the Steelers are 4-0 for the first time in 40 seasons since 1979. That'll do it. The Steelers do, in fact, beat the Eagles 38-29 here this afternoon. The Steelers are your Keystone State winners. And that's official now, final. 38-29. Steelers at 4-0. And now, once again, we're going to, and sorry once again for any technical difficulties, we're going to see if we can fast forward here at all to potentially get some highlights or even a bonus coverage game for that matter. So some highlights here, Roethlisberger with a post-game interview, and then some other highlights. All right. We'll get final stats and scores. Okay, we're now live back on Fox. And we're going to turn on CBS in the meantime. Giants and Cowboys. Dallas leads 3-0. Giants with the ball though, first down and 10. Check my notifications here, see if I got anything. Nothing other than, of course, some final stats and scores. But nonetheless, as the Steelers win, and we'll talk more about today's game and all the other games today more tomorrow, so be sure to tune back in. I want to try to wrap this up as quick as possible, just due to the fact of all the technical difficulties. I don't want anything else to go wrong. I'd rather just end this real quick and get it out there. You guys can watch it on the playback, of course, but be sure to tune back in tomorrow. And as mentioned, we'll discuss more later on. But final stats and scores for the Eagles and Steelers. Carson Wentz says the Eagles fall now to 1-3-1. He was 20-35 for 258, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Jalen Hurts had that one pass for 18 yards as well to Richard Rodgers. Miles Sanders, 11 carries for 80 yards and 2 scores. Fulgham led the way. Travis Fulgham for the Philadelphia Eagles had 10 catches for 152 yards receiving and 1 touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside had 1 catch for 37 yards. Greg Ward, 4 catches for 26 yards and a touchdown. Miles Sanders, 2 catches for 19 yards. Richard Rodgers, 1 of 18 Hightower 2 of 18 as well. Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger was 27 of 34 for 239 through the air and 3 touchdowns. Ray McLeod led the way rushing, had 2 carries for 63 yards. James Conner, 15 carries for 44 yards and a score. Benny Snell, 7 of 19. Claypool had 3 for 6 and a touchdown, 4 total touchdowns for him, as he had 7 catches for 110 yards receiving and 3 receiving touchdowns as well. Eric Ebron, 5 catches for 43 yards, along with Juju Smith-Schuster having 4 catches for 28 yards. James Washington, 3 catches, 25 yards. James Conner, 3 of 19. Ray McLeod, 3 of 12. Vance McDonald, 1 of 4. The Eagles will play the Ravens next week. The Steelers will play the Browns. I'll have live reactions play of Cleveland, Pittsburgh, so be sure to tune back in. More live reactions play tomorrow night as well with football and professional wrestling, so be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Panthers beat the Falcons 23-16. Dan Quinn's definitely going to get fired now tomorrow. Raiders defeat the defending Super Bowl 54 Kansas City Chiefs 40-32 on the road. Jets with a 30-10 win against the Jets. Cardinals, with a 30-10 win against the Jets. The Jets did beat themselves as they lost. The Panthers beat the Falcons 23-16. Dan Quinn going to be fired. Raiders over the defending Super Bowl 54 champion Kansas City Chiefs 40-32. Jets and the Washington football team lost by the same exact score to the Cardinals and Rams respectively, 30-10, as Arizona beat New York 30-10 and the Rams beat the Skins 30-10 as well. Ravens 27-3 over Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Texans, they win their first game after firing Bill O'Brien, the first win on the season as well, 30-14 over the Jags. Some other games currently going on have Giants-Cowboys on right now on CBS. New York leads Dallas 7-3. And then Miami, along with Cleveland, both up on San Francisco and Indianapolis. Miami 14-0 over San Fran. Cleveland 3-0 over Indy. Sunday Night Football still to come tonight. Vikings and Seahawks. Monday night now. Tomorrow night we'll have the Chargers and Saints along with WWE. Monday Night Raw. Be sure to tune in for more live reactions. Play-by-play. We'll discuss more football and wrestling tomorrow night as well, with all the games from today, all the scheduling changes due to COVID-19. Hopefully everyone's staying safe. Once again, sorry for any technical difficulties this afternoon. The stream, arguably, with that aspect to it, with technology, with disconnect, reconnect. The Steelers beat the Eagles 39-28. The Giants are currently winning by 4, 7-3 over the Cowboys. Cowboys with the ball. And then also, as mentioned, the Dolphins are winning over the 49ers, along with the Browns beating the Colts. But the Steelers win 39-28 over the Eagles in the Keystone State Battle this afternoon, as the Yinzers, along with everybody that goes to Sheetz over Wawa, we now know that Sheetz is still in fact better than Wawa, and the Steelers are better than the Philadelphia Eagles, winning once again 39-28. Be sure to tune back in for more live reactions, play tomorrow night live right here on YouTube.